Good morning, sir. Nannawari, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. I hope I am clear and audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much.
Thank you.
Within 2 minutes, we are going to start the session.
No issue, sir. Take your time, sir. No issue.
Hello. A very good morning to one and all. Myself, Dr. Prashant Bageshwar, IQAC Coordinator, Mungsaji Maharaj Mahavidyalaya, Dharwa. I welcomes you all to 4th day of national events, national level 5 days virtual faculty development program on NAAC RAF, that is Revised Assessment and Accreditation Framework, organized by IQAC Mungsaji Maharaj Mahavidyalaya, Dharwa, in collaboration with HRDC Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amolak Chand Mahavidyalaya, Yavatmal, and Hulsing Naik Mahavidyalaya, Pusal. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, we have also planned 2 invited talks on criteria 5 and 6 by Dr. Ayub Sheikh and Dr. Deepak Nannaware sir, respectively. I cordially invite Akhtar Unnisa Qureshi ma'am, Assistant Professor from Department of Urdu, Persian, to proceed further. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all respected faculties and enthusiastic participants. As we all know that we assemble here for national level 5-day virtual FDP on NAAC RAF. Scheduled for 3rd of August to 7th of August. Up to the day, we have discussed all 4 criteria, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in very much detail. First of all, I am very pleased to welcome you all personally and on behalf of the organizers for today's session. I welcome our chief guest and speaker, respected Dr. Ayub Mehboob Sheikh and respected Dr. Deepak Nanavare sir. It's my pleasure to welcome Honorable Dr. S.V. Ghuikerkar Madam, Secretary of Vidya Prasarak Mandal, Darwa, and also Principal Dr. V.B. Rao sir, and all energetic dignitaries and the participants. Dear friends, today for the first session of national level virtual FDP, we have a very eminent personality, respected Dr. Deepak Nanavare sir, Professor and Head of English Department, and IQAC Coordinator, DAV Balankar College of Commerce, Solapur. Sir is a member of VOS for English subject in Mumbai University, Jhunjhunwala University, Solapur University. He is also a member on board of lifelong and distance education, Solapur University. He is PhD supervisor at Solapur and Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad. He authored 16 reference books and textbooks and published 52 research articles. He is a resource member of IQAC Cluster of India. Soft skill trainer, content developer, translator, and motivational speaker. He is also an editor-in-chief on contemporary research in India. Sir has delivered lectures as a resource person of RUSA FDP national and state level seminars and workshops, next seminar, orientations, refreshers, and short-term courses. Sir is a recipient of 3 Best Teacher Awards. Sir, we are so lucky to have you with us as a resource person for today's session. I heartily welcome you, sir, and invite you to enlighten us. Over to you, sir. Sir will address 5th criteria of NAAC accreditation.
6th, I shall deal
Student
with.
progression.
Yeah.
6th.
I shall deal with 6th criteria.
Yes,
Six.
sir will
Governance-
address,
Governance leadership.
yes, 6 criteria of NAAC, governance and leadership. Okay, thank you, sir.
Shall I come in?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, and so nice of you for your kind introduction. Honorable Kelkar ma'am, Secretary of the institution, the captain, principal. Intentionally, I go on calling principals as captain because they literally lead the institution at each and every front. Honorable Dr. Raut sir, the man who is instrumental in coordinating the things, IQAC coordinator, Bageshwar sir, the principals of other institutions, the August gathering, and all IQAC coordinators. Good morning, all of you. And before I start with, I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to be with you, to have a discussion, dialogue, interaction, exchange on a very important or crucial issue, which is pertaining in the higher education in India. Because this is the area of thrush, what you call, the time of metamorphosis. And this phase of metamorphosis, or what you call transformation in higher education in India, as one of the catalytic role or catalytic aspect has been discussed in terms of revised assessment and accreditation framework. All of us know the gravity, seriousness of the assessment and accreditation process, and we are highly sensitive. These days we have become highly sensitive, highly pinpointing, and what you call calculated in terms of the addressing the queries, and try to synchronize ourselves, trying to accommodate ourselves in the format the NAAC has been asking us, or rather directing us to fill in and accommodate and adjust ourselves with the continuously upgraded, revised and assessment framework. So today, as it has been told to you, I'm given the responsibility and role to have a dialogue. I would not say that I'm capable of say delivering some expertise, but since last 3 to 5 years, whatever we have been trying to do, getting interacted or getting into say flow of the discussion on various aspects related to the quality initiatives. I would like to mention 3 terms over here, that whatever quality initiatives have been taken in the higher educations in India, and once the quality initiatives are taken up, we go for quality sustenance. It means whatever initiatives we have taken, we try to sustain that. We try to see that those activities or those policies or those schemes are being prevailed and continued for lifelong, or for a longer tenure, for the optimum benefit of our stakeholders. And the third part I would like to lead to is that after sustenance, we go for quality enhancement. So I stated 3 terms over here before I start with the criteria, that quality initiatives taken by the higher education in India. Second, quality sustenance of the various quality initiatives taken by the institutes, and then quality enhancement. Whatever we start with, we try to go on the improving its performance outcome, because every time it need not go, because already you have listened to the criterion 2, and there in 621 261 and 262, where you have been asked to write your course outcomes, program outcome, and program specific outcomes. And in 262, you have been asked to defend yourselves, that how you go for the outcome based education program, that how you check the attainment. Attainment is not only in terms of the related to the syllabus or curriculum, but whatever activities or whatever quality initiatives we go for, or we try to introduce at our institutional level, we finally go for the institutional quality enhancement initiatives, and we reach to certain level or certain standard or certain location or certain point, and there we go on setting what you call, in the terminology, we go on calling it as a certain benchmarking to be maintained, sustained at our institutional level. So as far as this particular criterion, when we go on discussing on this particular criteria, I would like to share my screen but before that, I have made some kind of, say, introductory statements on the basis of that whatever we try to do, whatever we go on doing at our institutional level, it has been distributed in different criteria. But criteria 6, which deals with, first of all, governance, which deals with leadership, and also management aspect has to be taken very seriously, because the other 6 criteria rest upon the what you call effective leadership, proper planning, and its implementation. And that's why this particular criteria goes on giving, or what you call proving, its importance for all of us, because we need to deal with the leadership, governance, and management aspect, very calculated and planned manner. Before we start with, here are some of the preliminaries. And dear IQAC personnel and dear IQAC coordinators, from my side, I would like to just request you that whatever all 7 criterion and part A also you deal with, do not try to divide or distribute it completely. Yes, for the sake of convenience, when we prepare finally or at institutional level, what IQAC goes on doing is, we try to distribute or we try to divide the work responsibility or task assignment into different committees based on different criteria. It means there is a vertical segregation and vertical compartmentalization at our institutional level based on our criteria. Here I can see some of the participants from autonomous institutes also. For them, I shall be dealing with some of the specific statements. But before I start with each and every metric, just I would like to remember that instead of, yes, for the sake of convenience, you may divide divide our people or divide our faculty into different committees based on criteria. But because metrics are interlinked, information is interlinked, make such kind of arrangement or such kind of policy that whatever is going on or whatever developments have been taken up in other criteria, whatever information is procured for in other criteria, try to see that that information is also being communicated to the people or to the teachers or to the committees internally formed for different criteria. Because instead of looking at the metrics or criteria into vertical compartmentalization, rather see it as interlinked, all 7 criteria interlinked, and even your extended profile and part A also. One more request before I start with, I have kept my chat box open. I shall try to be very clear, explicit, self-explanatory, because here I believe, I feel, and I have come here with certain gravity that whatever I shall try to communicate to you, it will be in simplistic manner, it will be clear manner, and it will try to touch to the institution which is located in the topmost developed area of India, and simultaneously which is located in the remotest area. So rather, instead of dividing those areas, I shall try to bridge the gap between the what you call locational advantage or disadvantage, or what you call geographical indicators, and I shall try to be explanatory. But if you feel that you have really some query or more explanation, feel free to post your question in chat box. Don't leave this virtual hall or virtual meeting with certain queries or what you call confusions or any question remaining. So I'm openly requesting you to post your question in chat box so that immediately I shall try to address all your queries. Okay, so let us move on to why did I stress on IQAC coordinators? Because once we know by heart what is the weightage, how many key indicators in total, criteria wise, how many key indicators, how many metrics are there, then what are the optional metrics, what are the essential metrics, then how or what standard operating procedure demands from us. So these are the things, how many qualitative and quantitative metrics are there. It becomes very easy for us to prepare and plan our actions or plan our activities according to that. So here in criterion 6, as you can see on the screen, there are in all the weightage of 100, but believe me that until and unless governance and leadership is proactive of that institution, it is rarely possible to proceed with what we call accomplishing environment at our institutional floor. We have in total 5 key indicators. Now, you know, in criteria 2, you have had 7 key indicators. Here we have 5 key indicators. There are total 16 metrics, and these 16 metrics are divided into qualitative and quantitative. Now, by the time you know very explicitly or clearly what is qualitative and quantitative, And remember, the distinguishing feature of this particular criterion is that this is the only criterion where you can see more number of qualitative metrics, that is 10, than quantitative metrics, which are in all 6 over here. It means totally 16 are divided into 10 and 6. In other criterion, all of you know that most of the indicators or metrics are from quantitative metrics, because 30-70 is the ratio. But this is the exceptional criteria where majority of the questions are to be written, are to be prepared or responded in 500 marks answer response with substantial documents, and the 10 metrics are going to be adjusted and evaluated by the peer team when the committee or the team visits to your institution. So what are the 5 key indicators title as? Because the basically title deals with the governance, leadership, and its management. Now, basic concepts, those who are from commerce and management, basically management, they know the fundamentals of it. But here, 6.1 deals with the vision and leadership, then strategic development, then faculty development and resource mobilization. 2 types of resources, that is human resource as well as what you call fiscal or financial resource. And most important is 6.5 is the IQAS, which is expanded as the internal quality assurance system. Now, from score point of view or marks point of view, you can see these 100 marks are being distributed to the optimum number as 30 for 2 key indicators, that is 6.3 for faculty development empowerment strategy. There in criterion 2, there was also reference to the faculty development, like say how many faculties have undergone different, say, faculty development workshops and everything, then the highest qualification and everything. But here faculty empowerment strategy is linked from criteria 2 to 6. Then the 5th key indicator is IQAS, which is a part and parcel of IQAC. Remember, IQAC has been assigned formally with number of tasks, as you know, that NAAC has clarified that IQAC needs to be the part and parcel and suggestive body for each and every activity or scheme in the institution. And that's why IQAC coordinator and IQAC personnel have got different responsibility, or what you call, they are the brainstorming, what you call, group, think tank group, and they are the pathfinder of the institution, and they are the setters of the benchmark of the institution. So coming back to the first metric, and the metric is the 611. It starts with the qualitative metric. And what is that qualitative metric? Which deals with the governance of the institution is reflective of an effective leadership in tune with the vision and mission of the institution. Now, this metric or the question is being asked for 5 marks. Simplistically, we'll try to understand. Just go through the metric or the question once again. We have been asked about the governance. Governance of whom? Governance of our institution. Governance of our institution. What is expected in the governance? Governance is linked, or through in governance, we have been queried about effective leadership of the institution, and it must be in tune with our vision and mission statement. Now, before I start with, I would like to just have a word on what is vision. Vision, that the aim or the goal that we set before we start anything, that this is the accomplishment that we reach to. And that most of the time, that goal is set, and that is being reflected in our logo also. So first of all, vision, and the mission is what you call that the course of action that we decide to attain our vision. Because during these years, what I have observed is that mostly there is a confusion in vision or mission statement. I would like to recreate one of the vision statement of the Sriram College, which is globally acknowledged institute, that they say the Institute of Global Choice. Their vision is to be Institute of Global Choice. Or for example, one of the institutes, College of Engineering Pune, who is autonomous institute, a known institute, COEP. I have just, for the sake of convenience or for the sake of explanation, I have displayed the vision statement, and I had tried to differentiate the vision statement from mission statement over here. Say, COEP, College of Engineering, has stated that they would like to achieve excellence. These are the keywords, remember, which I have highlighted in red and underlined also. Achieve excellence. Excellence in what? Electronic and communication engineering. Electronics and communication engineering. But what are their means? Means are one, quality education and research. These are the two vehicles or means through which they would like to achieve excellence. And after achieving excellence, what is their final vision? Final vision is to, they would like to contribute to the emerging technologies and innovation. And finally, they would like to serve two entities. One is industry and society. Now, this is their vision, that they plan to serve the society and industry through quality and research education, and they would like to attain excellence in their area. Now, what did I say? That mission statement is nothing else but the course of action that we plan to attain or achieve the vision, or move on to or move on in the direction of the vision. And that's why, say, to achieve excellence, first of all, excellence in education, enhance teaching learning processes. How? By creating global competent engineers. Then strengthening research culture. See here, research is interlinked in mission, research culture. How are they going to strengthen research culture? By providing sustainable solutions in the domain of communication, science. And most important is that the holistic aspect of research with technology is what you call ethic value and entrepreneur attitude, that they even simultaneously they plan to inculcate professional ethics, values, entrepreneur attitude, addressing the need of industry and society. It means, why did I spend 5 to 7 minutes on this aspect? The reason is that let us take an opportunity to revisit. I would like to just make you aware, or to revisit your institutional vision and mission statement, that are you really satisfied, or are you really moving in the direction what you have your management have had planned before writing the vision statement. So how to write or how to address this particular question in 500 words? Your 500 word response, the 500 word response will, 500 word response may include one. First of all, as I told you, that mention that yes, your institution has drafted vision and mission statement of the college, not your management. Give brainstorming. It should be, because college is going through the process of A&A, not your management. So vision and mission statement should be of your college, of your institution, not your top management. Next, your vision and mission statement is uploaded on your institutional website, website with specific tab or separate tab on it. Then it is being reprinted or printed or highlighted in college premises, magazines, and all the stakeholders are aware, all the employees are aware of the vision and mission statement. Unfortunately, I don't want to be negative or derogatory over here, but one thing I would like to mention that when I go for mock NAAC or when I go for some kind of programs at institutional level, and when I, at 11th hour, immediately when I ask for the vision and mission statement of the institution, there is hardly some or rare say teachers or faculty members come out with the specific or the in clear words, they go on recreating or quoting or informing vision and mission statement of the institution. So make it a point that all the stakeholders and employees are aware of it. So while writing or answer, writing the response of this question, to mention the governance, mention your apex body, then institution was set in the this and this particular year. It has leadership. What type of leadership you have? Who heads? What is the motto of the institution? And what is the vision and mission statement? What are the purpose and how it has been reflected in your perspective plan? And then how or what type of activities are being implemented? That's what I refer to. It is reflected, your vision and mission and governance, effective governance is planned through your perspective plan. It is those perspective, that perspective plan is for certain tenure. Then it is implemented or those plans are being deployed. And for that purpose, all the sections or all the areas, like say teachers and other officials have been given representations in decision-making bodies. For example, in Maharashtra, we have, according to Maharashtra Public University Act 2016, which is revised recently, that we have CDC, College Development Committee, and IQAC and different committees, statutory committees, as well as we have even other internal committees also. So these committees are being given responsibility at in two types of what you call management. One, they may be assigned what you call decentralized mode of management, that they might have been given responsibility independently. Or secondly, there is a possibility that instead of giving you have independent responsibility to take decision, they might have been given the participation or representation in certain committees. So you will have to narrate, and even the committees set up at institutional level and what are the achievements or accomplishments. From documentary point of view, one, you will have to mention give your link and also in PDF your vision and mission statement, then link to your website. Then after that, your perspective plan and its deployment document. Then different committees formed at institutional level, both your apex management committee, simultaneously the institutional committee, statutory as well as internal committees. And most important is that you can provide representative examples that how your different committees have been instrumental in the governance which was planned in the vision and mission statement. Here you can state, suppose for example, that you aim at spreading light of education in your area among the weaker sections of the society. Here you may also put that with this purpose, the majority of the admissions, majority of the students will come from so and so section of the society, and they have been the result percentage of this, and every year the percentage of this particular strata of the society is higher. Where scholarships are being provided with and this is the vision, accomplishment, and marching towards the accomplishment of the vision. And governance and policies have been designed in such a way that it helps us to move on to the attainment of the vision and vision statement of the institution. I hope, because I intentionally took my time, because many a times what happens is that we go on, say, hopping on the possible response from our side. 612 deals with, again, is a qualitative metric, answer in 500 words. The effective leadership is visible in various institutional practices such as decentralization and participative management. Again, this question is meant for 5 marks. So now two types of managements, which I already mentioned to you, have been asked that effective leadership institution promotes effective leadership in all the practices. And what type of management? One is decentralized management and other is participative. Those are from non-management section. Non-management section. Decentralization simply means it is giving authority or autonomy to different committees to take decision. Means they independently take decision. You have decentralized it. You have delegated your responsibility. But in participative management, different stakeholders, and who are all of you are aware of your stakeholders, starting from student, your staff, employer, alumni, they teachers, all of them are given participation or representation in the decision making body. They are not been assigned or empowered to take decision independently, but they are given responsibility to participate in decision making process. So with this theoretical part here, from answer point of view or from response point of view, we are supposed to, or NAAC has asked us to provide a case study showing decentralization and participative management. Let me explain what can be. Here I have cited two examples for me. Suppose, for example, you mentioned that yes, the management or the governance of the institution is based on the philosophy of decentralized and participative management. So and so committees are assigned or delegated authority to take decision independently. Let it be from statutory committee or the committee, non-statutory committees, but they have been given responsibility independently. Now, simultaneously mention what are the committees which represent the participative nature of your management. And here, case study, as a case study, suppose, for example, IT infrastructural augmentation. You know the word and difference between, you know the word augmentation and difference between augmentation and maintenance also. Because these are the terminology that need to be known by heart to all of us. Coming back to, suppose, for example, one of the institutions has designed a policy to go for IT infrastructural augmentation. Heads of the department, suppose Bageshwar sir is head of the department of physics, and being head of the department, he feels or his department is in need of some kind of information instruments or technology in it as a part to meet the required or optimum what do you call it, teaching learning process. And they decide at institutional level, at departmental level, first of all, some in charge, lab in charge, or some professor writes to him. Simultaneously, the issue is discussed in the departmental meeting, and departmental meeting, it is resoluted, and then it is communicated to the principal in writing. Then principal hands it over to the committee form for taking decisions regarding IT infrastructural augmentation or decision making committee. Then the recommendations are promoted. To or submitted or forwarded to the governing council or your CDC. And then finally, when the proposal is approved, again for implementation of it, it may go even to account section or what you call your the committee, which is specifically recruited for, maybe appointed, or may set up for the purchase, and then it is entered into the after purchase bills are being paid, and then the stock is maintained and the equipments are issued to concerned department, and they're also recorded. So how many sections are involved in it? Not one. Say participation is there in each and everything, each and every element or each and every point, and you have a formal mechanism because formally the committees are being assigned responsibilities that explaining their rules and rights and responsibilities. Suppose, for example, addition of resources. In my institution, the process is that we have independent library committee and they have got independent budget also. independent budget also. They prepare their own budget. Management has given them autonomy. So every year, budget is finalized, and every department is being requested for the suggestion of the resources related to the subject to be purchased in the library. So whose responsibility? It is departmental responsibility, and whatever suggestions are there for the purchase of resources during that particular, and in the in the line of or in tune with the budget allocation for that particular subject, then it is being communicated to the library committee. Library committee then place permits librarian, and accordingly the purchase orders are being issued. After that, all the formalities are being completed, and once books are received, then bills are being forwarded. To account section. They are settled, informed to the library, then accession and everything is here independently without direct role of management. Here they have been decentralized to take a decision as a matter of policy. So here, as whatever scheme you mention, or whatever say activity you mention, or whatever act you mention as an example or case study of your institutional either participative or decentralized management, you will have to present case with example. Suppose library case I mentioned. First of all, library committee formation, then their meetings. Apart from meetings, there will be in action, what you call minute book. It will be highlighted that where this issue was discussed, then suggestions issued, suggestions submitted by the department. After that, purchase orders, then then book list, then amount paid, and then the accession register, and then the information communicated in the form of catalog by the library to the department. So this is what, again, if you have separate website link at your institutional level, you may go for what? You may go for even the library update, library website tab link updating with the addition of informing additional resources procured to the stakeholders. So this is what I would like to mention, that whatever you claim over here, you need to provide it in the substantial form. In 621, what is it? It is qualitative metric. The institutional strategy and perspective plan is effectively deployed. Now, here we come to strategic or perspective plan. This is very crucial issue because it relates to our management, and here we can prove that yes, our institution and the management is proactive to management, because whatever vision is set, it is being implemented or it is being planned through the perspective plan. So here we have to provide example, or what you call case study of one of the activities successfully implemented based on the strategic plan. And here also we need to take care that we need to present or upload that activity which is completed on our website, also make it public, and the link of it needs to be provided. Now coming to the basic term, what is perspective or strategic? Why is it strategic, or why it is called as a long-term plan? Because it is a kind of a strategy for the attainment of the vision of the institution, or accomplishment of the strategy or vision of the institution, and the strategy is set accordingly, and it determines our set of future action. Because when we design our perspective plan, all of us know that we go with certain ideas or concept, think, then create, and then we plan. And after planning, we go for its deployment. And that's why in technical words, give a word and recheck your perspective plans. In short, it is said that your perspective plan or deployment of strategic plan should be smart. It should be specific. Don't go for vague things. Be short, be clear, measurable. Whatever strategic plan you prepare, it should be measurable. Suppose if you have planned to build something, and budget is so high that you cannot. So it cannot be measured. Attainable. You have planned, but it cannot be achieved at all. So it should be within the reach of the institution, giving the realistic approach. And that's why it is said that it must be realistic and it must be time bound. It must be time bound with whatever 3 year or 5 year. You need to decide. First of all, while writing answer, this particular answer, what you can do or what would be your response. Being a qualitative metric, here again you will have to write response in 500. What? How your strategic plan or what you call the strategic plan is prepared. What is the procedure? Currently, which plan is going on? What are the areas mentioned in the strategic or perspective plan? So you will have to explain. Then what is the procedure and who has approved that strategic plan? What are the areas have been discussed or presented in the strategic plan, and what are going to be the attainment and how it is going to help to attain or move onward to attain your vision of the institution. Write this and mention one case study. Where you mention case study, that you will have to explain that during the perspective plan prepared during so and so year, this was the perspective plan prepared and this was the point mentioned over here. Accordingly, whatever procedure has been done, you need to explain whatever expenditure, who were involved in it, and what are the end result of it. You will have to explain in the 500-word answer, but simultaneously, you will have, as a documentary part, you will have to go with case studies. Suppose, for example, you have had plan for one of the new programs. Program is a degree program you were supposed to start. You have had mentioned in the perspective plan committee in the committee form, and committee have had recommended it. It was discussed in IPSC also. Simultaneously, it was being recommended to your apex body, and it was approved. Then accordingly to which year, that is in annual, how you have divided it into your annual plan. In annual plan, so and so. So proposals were prepared. Then proposals were prepared. Then various committees were formed. Then proposals were prepared according to the norms of the government. Then it were submitted to the university on so and so date. Then university communication received. Then if there were some queries, then queries were being addressed to. Then government communicated to government. From government agency, the proposals were accepted by so and so later. Accordingly, again, the university communicated to you, government communicated to you, then the local managing committee, LMC, or what you call LIC, local inquiry committee, visited, being the affiliated institutions, certain say what you call resource generation or resource arrangement was made, and then LIC committee suggestions, then admission procedures, and the process finally admission procedure was completed. It means I am here putting as case studies that how you can in natural flow you can explain case study, and in the documentary format you will have to go give your perspective plan, its deployment is attainment, that what is the action taken. It is called as ATR, action taken report, and then case study supporting document. For example, new plan, whatever communication was there, whatever documentary proofs were there, you will have to arrange them in one PDF along with the institutional website proofs and submit it to you. Next, here we have been asked about, again, qualitative metric. The functioning of the institution bodies is effective and efficient as visible from policies, administrative setup, appointments, and service rules and procedures. Functioning of the institutional bodies. We need to prove its effectiveness and efficient. First, here we need to give the organogram. We'll have to prepare one of the sample organograms I have given. So here you need to give the organogram, and you will have to explain organogram, giving what is the apex management, what are their roles and responsibilities. It means the organizational, what you call designation or position, and simultaneously you will have to mention its role in the management. So at institutional level, I have tried to divide it in administrative, academic, examination. I don't want to say that this is the final. You can design your own organogram, but you need to explain. You need to explain the most important aspect, that what is your structure. Then when you explain the structure, roles and responsibilities, and how these committees hold the meeting, various committees hold the meeting, how they take decisions. So to support your claim of this particular answer, you will have to first of all define administrative and academic setup through the organogram. Second, as I told you, that different formations of different committees you will have to mention, like your governing council, CDC, IPSC, and your statutory committees, and the documented and approved policies for. Now policies, I'm sure that you might have given the awareness or alert or information about different policies to be written by the institution and getting it approved by the management for the smooth functioning or converting it to be called as a mechanism. So mention various policies and procedures that are being formed along with the procedure for your appointment, promotion, services provided, and grievance redressal mechanism, and whatever committees that your institution has set up for the purpose. So you will have to give proofs of all these documents in support, so that like say appointment made, advertisement given, what are the eligibility criteria, it means, and who is responsible for that, what are his and her roles and responsibilities, everything needs to be explained. I just one digression from this metric, that yes, every institution has to upload SSR on the institutional website, but it doesn't mean that we take for a reference and we recreate the same matter. No, our priority is different, their priority is different, their geographical indications are different, our geographical indication different. And one more term I would like to introduce, that is II. Our II, that is our institutional indicators are different and their institutional indicators are different. So the point which is advantage for them may be disadvantage for us. So do not copy any institute as it is before you write. And this is the first 623 is the first quantitative metric, which is called as implementation of e-governance in the areas of operation. Marks are 4 and headings are 4. What are they? 1, e-governance in administration, e-governance in finance and accounts, e-governance in admission and support, and e-governance in examination. We need to opt for one. But when you click all the above, we need to go for its support documentation. It means this e-governance deals or relate ourselves with institutional MIS. It is called as a management information system, that electronic or IT technology that we use for the retaining, feeding, maintaining, and procuring the information accurately to enhance the performance of our institution. I have said, here are some of the examples that in admissions, what can be the e-governance? E-governance can be for the admission, say through online. Students can apply for the admission, for merit list generation, maintenance data of the student, teachers, then the registration of the students, payment of the fee through online resources using, and COVID pandemic has given us an opportunity to increase or enhance our MIS these days. All of us are aware. So how you generate different reports related to administration, then bona fide. These days there are different softwares that, like say college management software, then what you call LMS and LMS are there. So you can mention that what are the possibilities related to administration. Now here are the examples of what the MIS or e-governance in terms of admission. As I told you, that admission online prospect also, registration also, merit list also. You might have developed or purchased Android app also for the various purpose. Even many colleges have purchased bulk SMS facility. So this is the part of e-governance in the student admission and support. Finance, you know, the software that you purchase like Tally, and through Tally, like say starting from income to expenditure and all the issues related to expenses, and finally it comes to the receipts and payments and balance sheets. It is mentioned. Examination, preparing, circulating, assessing, evaluating, declaring result, merit list, then dealing with examination related grievances. All these can be part of LMS. But as a documentary support for this, you will have to go for ERP document. Whatever MIS you claim, you will have to give its screenshot. But screenshot is not sufficient. You will have to provide the bill of the implementation or the purchase of that particular software. Then you will have to submit as a proof your policy document on e-governance. And the most important is that the report, MIS report or e-governance report, you will have to generate every year that what are the e-governance facilities, MIS facilities in the institution, how they are helping out, and what is the outcome or what is the requirement or what is the necessity of it. Okay, so try to mention these points, but only photographs are not important. Remember, you will have to provide its bill also, and in DVV they may ask for even your stock register also. The entry mentioned in the stock register. So let us move on to 631, which is qualitative metric. And this qualitative metric deals with the institution as effective welfare measures for teaching, learning, and teaching and non-teaching staff. What does welfare mean? A welfare measure means institutional initiative for the safety. Then not only safety, but betterment of the employee, giving protection, caring for health, caring for proper or better work environment. Now here you will have to provide the existing welfare measures for both, that is teaching and not teaching staff. What would be the document? For example, what can be the welfare measures? Some of them may be there in your institution, some of them may not be in your institution. Okay, so it could be like, say, promoting self-development, for facility for group insurance, different types of leave, fee installments of what, provident fund, then loan facility, healthcare, health center, you might have policy to organize health camp every year. Then tie up with nearby hospital. You might be providing, say, commuting facility or uniform facility, transport, tea club, then their felicitation on different assignment, or some discounts you might be given in the form of monetary benefit. And during COVID-19, institution might have given. So you will have to write end list. But if you claim anything, you will have to provide documents related to or documents supporting to your claim. So this is the most important condition in revised assessment and accreditation program. Framework. 632 is quantitative. We will have some quantitative questions now. Average percentage of teachers provided with financial support to attend conferences, workshops, and towards membership of professional bodies during last 5 years. So data is required for 5 years for 10 months. So institution provides some seed money, or institution reserves some fund in budget for promoting teachers to attend either conferences or workshop, or taking membership of some professional bodies related to the subject. So here, if you have divide this table as first of all, year 1, then information, year 2, information, likewise consecutive year. For example, year 1, write here, name of the teacher. He should be a full-time teacher. He need not be CHB or clock hour teacher or visiting faculty. Name of the conference or workshop which he attended, or name of the body whose membership he has taken, and what is the amount that institution has handed over. If you have not given amount, you cannot claim this matrix. And as a documentary support, what you need over here? As a documentary support, you will have to go for one, that the policy, suppose you design a small policy, that yes, these are the monetary arrangements or provisions that have been made for what, the promoting teachers' participation in conferences or taking up the membership of bodies, and simultaneously you will have to go for the letters, e-copies of the letter, sanction letter of, suppose I as a teacher being assigned, have the facility, I apply for a financial assistance, and the institution has written letter to me that your claim or your request for so-and-so assistance has been accepted, and you have accepted for the rupees so-and-so for the participation in so-and-so or taking up membership of body, and the check is issued in his name, and whatever financial transaction are being taken up, they should be in the name of under that particular heading, in the name of that particular teacher or beneficiary. So, but naturally, you will be asked for audited statements of accounts during that particular year, highlighting the amount. And here, one more thing you will have to go for, that whatever amount is spent year-wise, they make a total of amount and get it certified by your chartered accountant of the institution, countersigned, or again, finally authenticated by the principal, and along with their letters, participation certificate or membership letters. Moreover, additionally, their say assistant reflected in audited statement plus CA statement, your claim will be accepted. Now in 633, again, which is a quantitative metric, the average number of professional development or administrative training programs organized by the institution for whom? Teaching and non-teaching staff, data for 5 years. So again, as in the previous question, which I had told you, that divide this table, do not make separate tables, make it a single Excel sheet, but one by one, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So year 1, suppose this is a 15-16, then serial number. What was the program organized by institution for the professional development program? Many teachers go on asking in the question, sir, give a sample of any professional development related to the development. It may be on pedagogy, teaching learning process, development of e-resources, then extracurricular activities and its linking, then life skill management, professional skill management, then soft skills, ICT skills, anything can be under planet of Earth, which is a part and parcel of their professional development. Then if it is related to office part, their professional development, but they must be organized, not deputed, organized by the institution. And what was the date from do? If it is 1 day, mention date and how many number of participants. But as a documentary support, you have planned and organized those activities as a part and parcel of what? Their professional development, in enhancing or increasing their what you call the performance. Here, list of the development programs, along with it, the notice or brochure of the circular that you have had taken for the program. Then year-wise, its report. After completion, the report, like say notices issued, then their attendance, signatures, feedback, resource person details, their signature. Why? Because list of the participants and their attendance, then feedback, and then one cumulative report along with the photographs with a date and caption on it. So then this claim will be accepted. Now, if institution has not organized, but here in 634, we have been asked or queried about the in quantitative metric about the average percentage of teacher undergoing either online or face-to-face FDP, like, or they go for professional development programs, orientation, induction, or refresher, or any course. All of you know that we go for UGC approved. But the only condition is that it should be of minimum 7 days, minimum of a week, and it is not organized by the institution, but institution has deputed. So what are the details required? All the years detail, name of the teacher who is full-time, then what was the title of the program, and what is the duration of it, supported by documentary proof, which is mandatory, that the certificate of participation is must. Certificate of participation is must, and they may ask you for annual reports of the institution, highlighting where in annual report institution has mentioned that so and so teacher has completed this particular course. But as a special attention, remember that if one teacher attends more program of such program, it will be counted as 1. You may count it as 2, but in DVV it will be asked to count as 1, because one teacher, one is the count. Like again, the invited talks or attending seminars, it is not at all counted, and simultaneously program less than a week is not counted here. In 635, self-appraisal, that institution has policy, and institution every year go for self-appraisal or performance appraisal system for teaching and non-teaching staff. All of us know that according to 7th scale, we have ARS. Previously, we have had API, performance as a part of performance appraisal. University has prepared that form, and we are expected to fill in every year. For non-teaching, they have their confidential report as well. And every institution has created mechanism. So here, as a part of the 500 words, you will have to write your mechanism for both teaching and non-teaching, its frequency, like say the when and how, and who are all, or what is the mechanism or mechanism designed for performance appraisal, then how it is being received, who are assigned the responsibility to evaluate it, and what is the action taken on it. So here, remember, as a documentary support, you will have to give one institution's performance-based appraisal system, actual form sample you will have to give, notifications related to give, then teaching faculty may be considered in terms of academic, administrative, and research point of view, and also for extracurricular point of view, and not non-teaching also. Their professional competence, performance, character, and outstanding control. But without documentary support, like say action taken, and it's filled in report, sample form, your policy and mechanism, its frequency, the committee form for it, the decisions taken on it, the claim will not be accepted. So herein now we move on to what the 641, which is qualitative metric, that we are asked about internal and external financial audits. There are different audits. Don't try to mix with the audits mentioned in the 7th criteria, like say gender audit or environmental audit or energy audit. No, here we deal with only financial audit. So internal audit is conducted by the internal auditor, which is appointed by the management. And external audit in the statutory format we have various auditors. Like say, for example, the internal and external audit, it may be conducted by the appointment. So here, first of all, explain that how often is the frequency of internal audit, and what is his role and responsibility, that every year the appointment is given to some chartered accountant. Then what is the formal mechanism that once audit is completed, how do we go for compliance, or how does institution go for its compliance? Then internal auditor records, like appointment given by the institution to the internal audit. It is discussed in your CDC or governing council. Then external audit, like say senior auditor, joint director, higher education, sometimes the CAG or government auditor in general, and its mechanism. So whatever are the auditor's report, you will have to provide their appointment letters as well as the documents related to the proof as a proof in claim of this particular appointment and the process conducted. In 642, which is quantitative metric, funds and grants received from non-governmental body, individuals, and philanthropists. So here, first of all, it is mentioned that it should not be covered in criteria 3. Okay. In criteria 3, we have discussed already, you know, that the grants mentioned over there were exclusively meant for research aspect. Apart from that, other grants received by either individuals or philanthropists. So first of all, year-wise, year 1, agency or individual's name, what is the purpose of grant, and then amount received and linked to the audited statement. See, if some person or agency has given in the form of some equipment, it cannot be counted here. Only monetary aspect is counted here. Okay, so amount must be deposited in institutional account, and that must be verified through the audited statement. So the cover letter indicating grant, that if somebody is giving the grant, make it a point that he should give the letter along with that. The amount is because it is deposited in the institution's account, it is audited. So account statement highlighted. Then chartered accountants consolidated certificate that year-wise this and this amount has been received as a the grant. But the only condition is that our own institutions or own trust grant or sister institutions grant will not be considered under this category, because it is seen that many institutions have been coming forward to deposit the grants in sister concerns account. It is not at all accepted. Okay, and third, in the help or the assistance in the form of equipment or software is not at all considerable. What is this? 643 is qualitative metric. It is institutional strategies for mobilization of funds and the optimum utilization of resources. Qualitative metric, here we need to describe what are the sources of mobilization of resources. What is our policy and how do we implement? It means the part of the management, it is called as identifying resources from where we can procure or generate our resources. How do we engage, negotiate, manage, and spend? It means here, what are the sources? It is meant for 6 months. So whatever sources, first of all, we'll have to go for think of the strategy for resource mobilization. That what is our income and what are the sources of income and how do we generate resources? And secondly, how do we plan to spend it? So consideration and identification of priority and concern capability. Then the document sources of income may be government bodies, NGOs, collection of fees, like say tuition fees, grants of UGC, donations, etc. And the mechanism for, so the documentation, as I told you, that whatever you plan, your budget, your audit statement, but simultaneously, whatever audits have been considered, and along with that, whatever decisions you have taken in the statutory bodies or the committees, their meeting minutes will be required over here. So here in 651, moving on to last key indicator, which deals with quality assurance mechanism. The first part for 10 marks is internal quality, that is IQAC has contributed significantly in institutionalizing the quality assurance strategies and processes. Now we have to describe here 2 practices institutionalized as a result of IQAC. I have already made clear that IQAC is a very important body, and NAAC has expected to be IQAC to be part and parcel for not only one aspect. In green, you can say academic monitoring cell for excellence. It can be a part of research promotion, and it is a part and parcel of documentation cell also. So IQAC initiate activities. It means design, it test, it deploy with lot of support and get a feedback, which leads to what you call quality enhancement issues or quality enhancement aspects and attaining to certain benchmark. So you will have to explain, and you will, as a proof here, you will have to explain. But here I have given some examples, like say introduction of development of skill development courses, ICT, teaching, learning, pedagogy, then alumni involvement, then research activities, etc., etc. Any activity you can mention where you say that it is institutionalized. A single activity may not be institutionalized. It may be continuously going on activity to continuous basis to measure its impact or emphasis or outcome. This is what the most important aspect required in this area. And in 652, which is qualitative metric, again, the institution reviews its teaching learning process and structures and methodologies of operation in teaching learning outcome at periodical interval through IQAC set of norms. So what type of role IQAC has plays in the increasing or enhancing quality related to teaching methodology at certain. It means, first of all, that IQAC might have organized different programs related to or workshop related to it. They might have taken initiative to write CO, mapping of COPO, and then simultaneously workshops on different teaching methodology, resource generation, anything related to teaching enhancement in the teaching learning quality. So in every meeting, the issues have been discussed. Feedback follow-up has been taken up after its what you call the organization, and its outcome is measured. So most important thing you will have to go for is nothing else but the exam with the example with various examples. You will have to state a role of IQAC in strengthening strengthening process, structure, and methodologies of teaching learning processes. The activities organized is continuous follow-up through the minutes of the IQAC meetings. Simultaneously, if you have set up some different committees, suggested some different committees, or you have taken help them in taking feedback on teaching, analyzing feedback, or organization of different programs. And suppose you might have given some suggestions for improvement by the peer team, how you have IQAC has incorporated implemented it with what you call the possible optimum utilization. So this is what I was telling you, that IQAC meeting records, it's not only a minute book, but action taken report. This is the area where a majority of the institution fails to write. Go for action. Whatever decisions have been taken, they should not be closed in the cupboard. So whatever action has been taken, put one small action taken report. This was planned and action has been taken. Then proposals forwarded. Then what are the methodologies suggested? Then whatever activities you have taken, all the proofs related to your claim will prove to be sufficient. And here we come to the 653 quantitative metric, which deals with the quality assurance initiatives of the institution, which includes NAAC has mentioned 4. Starting from your regular IQAC meetings and submission of AQR report, and then feedback collection. These are the fundamental prerequisites or requirement of the activities to be conducted or to be maintained and technically completed, fulfilled, and timely analyzed and incorporated by IQAC, or if not, certain collaborations with other institutions through IQAC. Your participation in NAAC or your lead taken for the various audits, let it be the quality audit, ISO or NB or any other audit that I have mentioned, and no restriction only to financial audit. So if you mention 4 as a documentary support, what you will have to do is you will have to go for the IQAC meetings, report submitted, then feedback analysis report and their website links, then activity conducted along with, or MOU signed or linkages established with other institutions, then NIRA participation or data submission proof, then ISO certification, and or any other quality initiative that institution has come across through the proactive nature of the institution that leads to the quality initiative. So in all, we try to discuss what is the importance for the governance, leadership and management in strengthening, nurturing of the institutional quality culture for what you call attainment of the vision, mission, and the statement. And all of us know that until and unless what you call we have the best captain, predetermined goals, and accordingly planned activities, we cannot reach to our benchmarks or what you call committed or dedicated activities or dedicated what you call the attainments till we go for the proper planning with meticulous implementation efforts. So this is what from my side, I try to be self-explanatory. I hope that I was successful in giving explanations which were required from my side. So thank you very much. And once again, I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to be here with you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable guidance. If somebody has any queries, they can ask question by unmuting themselves.
Yes, feel free to ask. There are two possibilities. One, they might have understood, or they might not have been appealed from my side.
Those who want to ask their question, kindly raise your hand.
Hello. Sir,
Yes.
this is Santosh.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. First of all, sir, thank you for enlightening.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Hello.
Sir,
Yes,
this is
sir.
Santosh Gore.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir. Please.
Thank
I
you.
am A. Srinivas Babu from Gayatri College of Science and Management, Srikakulam of Andhra Pradesh, sir.
Sir, let me finish, please.
You have given.
Srinivas, sir.
You have given.
Srinivas, sir. Let
Yes,
me
yes,
finish.
sir.
Let me finish, please.
Okay, okay. Carry on, sir.
Sorry to disturb you. Nandavare, sir. First of
Yes,
all,
sir.
thank you for enlightening our lives. I want to ask you one question.
Yes.
How to go for some attainment of courses? Please, can you throw some light on it? Attainment of courses.
Pardon, sir.
You know, in this criteria, 6.1.1,
Huh.
that 1.1b is attainment of courses. So can you please throw some light on this?
Attainment of courses.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get your question, sir. There is some kind of humming is there from backside.
So,
Doctor?
sir, they are asking about, he's asking about the criteria 2, attainment of the courses, PO, PSO, CO.
Yeah, sir. Do you mean the same, sir? Whatever Ayub sir is trying to ask?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Want to get something cleared about attainment of courses.
Yes, sir.
Not
Yes.
clear about it.
Yes, there are two words. They come into light. One is attainment, and second, measuring of the outcomes. Okay. It is being asked in 262 of the criterion 2.
Yeah.
First of all, the procedure goes with or initiates with 261, where we write our COs and POs. NAAC hasn't mentioned anywhere what the procedure should be to measure attainment or map outcomes. But these days, institutions have been approaching to NBA designed and defined attainment procedure, where your CO course, that is paper, outcomes, written outcomes on the paper for each and every paper, they are linked to your PO.
Yes.
Okay. And accordingly, for every paper, assessment plan is prepared.
Yes.
For example, assessment plan is prepared, like say, I'm going to conduct certain internal and external evaluation. Internal and external evaluation, external evaluation includes your university examination. Internal is a part of your CI, like say you go for tests, different presentations, anything. And accordingly, you decide and try to fit into your existing pattern of 30-70 university pattern, 30-70. And then you go on deciding the plan for it, that how will you consider whether the goal has been attained or not, on the basis of either average or setting certain benchmark. Average, like say, for example, if you are taking average, then you decide, or as a subject teacher, we decide that if my students, students go on 60%, attain 60% of so and so marks, I will consider it as attained. If not, it will be unattained. Otherwise, second is, if 80% and above, 20% of students are 80% and above. Some say remaining 20% are 80%, 60% and above. So these are the calculations are done, and on the basis of, actually it takes separately 3 to 4 hours for explaining those sheets. Ayub sir would agree, because I go on conducting. Because in Pune also I have next session in Pune with one of the institutions. Practically we are trying to explain the things, but right now attainment can be done simplistically or according to NBA standard norm. But whatever CO you plan and the activities or assessment you arrange according to that, before you arrange, you set your goal, that how you are going to measure on the basis of your assessment or evaluation related activities, and you set your target, and accordingly you go on checking whether your target is attained or not. So for short span of time, I hope you would agree, because this is very vast area, but very interesting area. Interesting. And NAAC has also mentioned this in LOCF, Learning Outcome Based Framework also. So for time being, I will restrict myself only to this part.
So nice of you, sir. Thank you so much. I am enlightened, completely enlightened.
There are two methods. One is direct method, indirect method.
Yes.
In indirect method, we go with the feedback. feedback or survey of alumni and outgoing survey, it is called as students outgoing survey.
Yes.
Then direct method, we have internal and external evaluation.
Academic result.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Babu sir.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Babu, let Babu sir ask question. He has got some queries.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have given very lucid presentation, especially which documents are required. It's a wonderful thing, sir. It has given a clear picture to each and every college. I'm A. Srinivas Babu from Gayatri College of Science and Management, Srikakulam, Andhra Pradesh. I'm Vice Principal and IKC Coordinator. And regarding performance appraisal system, is there any standard procedure or documentation? Is it to be prepared by the college itself? First question, sir. Second one, internal audit appointment. Is there any process document required for internal appointment by the management? Especially ours is a private college, affiliated college, sir. Second one. And third one, what are the training programs for non-teaching staff? Please suggest those training programs. Are they be conducted by the college or other institutions? These are the things. And another one regarding certificates, is there any necessity of hard copies? These are the questions because we people went for NAAC in the year 2007. As far as new framework is concerned, let me know certain things to strengthen ourselves with your words. Thank you very much, sir.
I shall start with your fourth question, which is asked recently.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, you have asked me, sir, whether to make a claim that your faculty has participated or completed a training program. Certificates are must according to NAAC guidelines. Or if you fail to submit it, you will be asked in during your DVT. Because the revised assessment process, RAF, goes with the very simple idea that show proof, otherwise do not claim. And see, this is a quantitative metric. This is going to be evaluated and authenticated by the agency appointed by NAAC without coming on your institution premises. One. So certificates are must. Secondly, as you told that your internal appointment of internal auditor. Already in my presentation, I have mentioned how are you going to prove that you have or your institution has the internal auditing system. First, it initiates with your policy mechanism that you have designed your audit policy and where you go for internal and external audit. Why policy? Once you prepare policy and get it approved by the management, it becomes the binding or what you call the mechanism. I quote mechanism, and it goes on continuous basis. So there is an appointment. He has been entrusted with the responsibility of appointment, and what is that? It is nothing else but your appointment. Appointment letter issued by the statutory body to the person who is entrusted with the responsibility to go for an audit. So here. Secondly, as I told you that in Maharashtra we have different, like we have because I also work in affiliated college. So yes, I am working in affiliated college. We have the joint director. We have joint director of Government of Maharashtra Higher Education Department. We have CAG also. So they go on say doing audits, external audits as a part of the structural mechanism.
Nanoris, sir.
Simultaneous. Yes, sir.
So first let them clear whether they are asking about the AAA or the financial audit.
No, sir. Audits. He has specifically asked. Yes.
Okay. You are right. Continue.
And there I have clarified that
yes,
we do not consider in this criteria any other audit than financial audit.
Yes.
Whatever other audits are there, those audits are there in 7th criteria. Tomorrow they will be explained to you. So you will have to go with the documentary proof. Although this is a qualitative metric, simultaneously you will be asked for appointment letter. So better strengthen your document. There is a concept of what you call documentation, complete documentation, starting from the first point till its completion. And that's why since beginning I have been stressing on ATR, action taken report of every minute of the every committee. Since beginning I have been stressing that aspect. What was your third question, sir? Previously,
performance appraisal system. Is there any standard procedure to it?
Yes. Most of the universities, they have gone in tune with the existing norms of your performance appraisal and CAS, career advancement scheme. So every university, most of the universities have designed their performance appraisal system. And during my presentation, I have cleared that for teaching faculty, those promotions take place or in continuation and or under CAS. They have been queried in connection with their academic, administrative, curricular, and extracurricular, and their contribution to the institution. So most of the universities have designed, but at institutional level also, you can design your performance, get it approved by your management, and then it incorporates. And two things. See, I refer to one of the audits, that is ISO. What does ISO give? ISO suggests, basically ISO suggests with what? Your mechanism. How do you define your mechanism? Who is responsible for what and how much time, and what are the outcomes of it? So they go for the mechanism with some kind of what you call, there is a correction, you implement that. If there is an error, you go for preventive measure, and then you go for corrective measures. I repeat, I mentioned preventive measures and corrective measures, and then you implement. Regarding non-teaching also, I referred, non-teaching, their professional performance, simultaneously professional performance, their ethics, upgradation, and everything. You can design on your own format, or you can appoint committee. Your institution can appoint committee. You can refer to the government guidelines for the appointment or the service code of non-teaching staff. What are the mandatory requirements? And then you can present your comprehensive form, which is approved by your management, and then you go for further action. Okay, and your final question, final question was regarding the type of the activities that are being organized, that needs to be organized by for the sake of non-teaching staff. One related to professional development. For example, I refer to one of the points that MIS, yes, they are trained, but every time there is upgradation in the technology. So issues related to upgradation of the technology, introduction, they might come across different software also, their mode of work, documentation, workplace culture, ethics, HR related to issue, means IT related issues, HR related issues, and simultaneously means professional skills as well as ethical skills, because ethics is also part of management practices. So you can design very small issues and go on organizing different activities, but make it a point that these activities are documented properly with the participation record as well as its emphasis and feedback record. And also, if you have circulated or issued a certificate to them, make it a point that you may maintain one sample of it. Okay, sir. I hope I have answered all yours.
Sir, one point, sir, okay, with your permission. Our college has ISO certification. Is that mechanism is useful for NAAC accreditation? Do we use that particular policy?
Yes, because say ISO, one of the points I mentioned in internal quality assurance system, that NAAC has taken initiative for different audits, and ISO is one of the audits you can show over there in continuation or in addition to your academic and administrative audit. Two types of academic and administrative audits. One is internal AAA, and other is the external body auditing, external authorized body or approved or recognized body auditing your institution. So you can claim your ISO as one of the audits as a matter of what you call institutional quality assurance assurance measures.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your nice explanation. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hey.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Professor Solanke, thank you very much for delivering informative talk regarding the criteria 6, sir. But still, I have two doubts about this criteria. First, that what about the corpus fund provided by the institutions? And secondly, that if the management provides some funds for the construction of the building, then can we insert such type of funds?
I got your question, sir. Solanke, sir, I got your question, and fortunately, we have had discussion yesterday itself. Ayub sir and me have had discussion because continuously we are getting queries related to corpus fund. Try to understand corpus fund, concept of corpus fund. Corpus fund is some amount that has been received from outside for the purpose on spending on certain things. That corpus is maintained. If you claim that, sir, while starting some program, because it was mandatory to deposit certain amount, and that is corpus fund, that is not acceptable. Am I right, Ayub sir?
Absolutely right, sir.
Yes, that is not called as a corpus fund. So institutional level corpus fund, institutional level deposits, if you are showing it as corpus fund, technically it is not acceptable. One. Secondly, regarding corpus funds, amount is fixed. Amount is fixed. And through that amount, which is fixed, whatever income is getting, that income is being spent for the specific purpose that is expected. Let it be for the building development, building upgradation, augmentation, or student benefit. Whatever cause it has been decided or fixed, it has been utilized for the purpose. So this is the concept of corpus fund. But one point Ayub sir and me discussed yesterday, that this corpus fund is only being varied by NAAC in AQR, right, Ayub sir?
Absolutely right, sir. No, that is not part of the SSR.
Yes. So this is the concept of corpus fund. There is a lot of variation because we came to know some clarification that many institutions have put the certain heading in the admission receipt itself, like corpus fund. So it raises question whether it will stand to its authenticity or not. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, sir. You really truly justify the criterion 6, and I hope everybody to keep it positively.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks a lot,
Still,
sir.
in
Once
case
again,
I have shared my number. If any of the participants still feel like say having some kind of query, we are a bit say open for discussion. Feel free to contact us.
okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Without taking much time, we are moving ahead to session 2nd. Once again, I welcome you all for the 2nd session, which is hosted by Dr. Ayub Mehboob Sheikh. Let me introduce our speaker, who actually doesn't require any introduction, and he is well recognized in his field. I feel so fortunate to have such a kind of person with us. Sir, I would like to invite you for the 2nd session to cover the NAAC criteria 5th. Students' support and progression. By quoting this couplet, हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा. Dr. Ayub sir, who was the part of IQAC coordinator during the 2nd cycle and the 3rd cycle, as per revised assessment and accreditation process at ICS College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Khed, District Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. Sir is a trustee of IQAC Cluster India, being as a resource person of IQAC Cluster India for topics revised accreditation framework NAAC and revised online process of AQAR. He has delivered lectures for faculty development program organized by SPPU University Pune at Fezpur and Otur, and also delivered lectures in workshops organized by Doshi Women's College, Mumbai, He has individually visited for guidance at colleges of Raigad district, Sindhudurg, Kolhapur, as well delivered resource speech of revised assessment and accreditation process in various national level webinar organized by IQAC Cluster India and various institution PAN India. In spite of this guiding and supervising to 13 colleges of Maharashtra and other states for undergoing assessment and accreditation as per revised online process. Sir has provided guidance and support to 9 colleges across India for preparation of NAAC peer team visit. He has completed 2 minor research projects funded by BCUD, University of Mumbai and UGC WRO Pune. Sir has also 1 major research project with the title Population Economics of Marine Bivalve from West Coast of Maharashtra, funded by the UGC Delhi. Sir has published 28 research papers in international journals and received awards for many research papers as best research paper. He is approved PhD guide of Mumbai University for the zoology subject. Sir, it is a very humble request to kindly enlighten the criteria 5 of NAAC, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. I'm audible. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir. Ayub sir.
I'm audible, no?
Yes, you are audible.
So how much time is there with me so as to explain the criteria 5?
130.
Till 1:30, sir. Yes.
I can go up to 1:30. Okay. So good afternoon to all. With continuation with Professor Dr. Deepak Nanavare sir. Due to some unavoidable reason, the morning session basically which I had to take, but due to some unavoidable reason, so that was conducted by Nanavare sir, and his time I'm going to utilize for to present my responsibility, that is criteria 5. So this is the second biggest criteria in throughout 7 criteria. Biggest criteria in the sense weightage, as per the weightage, as well as per the content. First biggest criteria is criteria 2. Normally our resource person Professor Deepak Nanavare is going to handle criteria 2, first biggest criteria, and I'm handling the second biggest criteria, that is criteria 5. Why these 2 criteria are important? I say biggest in the sense as per the weightage as well as per the important. What is the important of these 2 criteria? So as you are going to enter in these 2 criteria, you will feel that so both the criteria are the student centric. So the whole system of HEI is based on the student centric. On that respect, so whatever these 2 criteria are there, teaching learning process and the student support and progression, these 2 criteria are purely based on the students, purely based on the student activities, purely based on the student support which is there provided by the institute. Hence, they are supposed to be the important criteria throughout whole assessment and accreditation process. As the weightage, as we are going to see, the weightage is 140 is the weightage for the affiliated college, 130 weightage is for the autonomous college, while 100 is the weightage for universities. So the metrics which are there, for criteria 5. So total 13 metrics are there, of which 11 metrics are the quantitative metrics and the 2 metrics are the qualitative metrics. So quantitative metrics means, I think you might be having the idea about the quantitative metrics. Quantitative metrics are there required to support by the data and the documentation. So template is provided by the NAAC. In that template, we have to provide the data and supporting document. While the QLM means what? These are the qualitative metrics. This is to be answered with the description. Limit may be 500 or the 1000. As per the matrix, limit is differ, but normally 500 words, within 500 words, we have to describe. That is called as the qualitative metric, and this is also supported by the documentary evidences. So without document, there is no any weightage for qualitative metrics as well as the quantitative metrics. So the key indicators from this criteria, that first key indicator, that is student support, having the weightage of 50, 50 and 30. So this weightage is autonomous college, affiliated college as well as university. The key indicator student support having the 4 metrics. That first matrix is concerned with the scholarship and the freeship. This is asking about a kind of scholarship and freeship provided by the government as well as institution, NGOs, industry, etc., etc. So the second matrix is based on the skill enhancement initiatives. What kind of skill enhancement initiatives have been provided by the institution? And specific areas have been asked by the NAAC, as like soft skill is there, language and communication skill is there, life skill is there, ICT and the computing skills. So these are the preferred area, and the initiatives have been taken by the institution. So this is what is they are required to provide the data, as well as in support we have to provide the documentation. The third matrix for first key indicator is the guidance for the competitive examination and the career counseling. What initiatives have been taken by the institution for the competitive examination? What kind of programs are going to organize by the institution for career counseling? About this is also required to provide the data as well as documentation. And the fourth matrix, which is in first key indicator, student support, that is a transparent mechanism for timely redressal. So the methodology, policies, procedure for the redressal mechanism in the institution, with special reference to the student redressal, anti-ragging cell and the ICC cell. This is what is required to provide the information. The next key indicator that concern with the student progression. So this second key indicator having the weightage of 30, 25 and 30, having the 3 metrics. First matrix is concerned with the placement, that how many placement have been done, how many students have been placed in last 5 years. So this data is they are required to provide. And the second matrix is concerned with the progression for the higher education, that how many students have been progressed for the higher education in last 5 years. And third matrix is concerned with the state level and the national level examination, international level examination qualified by the student and appear by the student. So this data is they are required to provide in support of the documentation. The third key indicator is concerned with the student participation and the activities. This is one of the highest key indicator, which having the more weightage equal to the first, that is with the student support. So this key indicator having the 3 metrics. First matrix is concerned with the award, medal in sport and cultural activity, that how many awards have been received by the institution, by the student in the field of sport and cultural. The second matrix is concerned with the student representation and the engagement, how the students are representing to the institute, how the students are engaged in the administrative activities, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities of the institution. This is what is they are required to describe. The third key, the third matrix from third key indicator, that is organization of the sport and cultural activity, that how many competitions have been organized by the institution, sport competition as well as cultural competitions, about which it is they are required to provide. And last key indicator is concerned with the alumni engagement, how the alumni is involved in the all kind of the activities of the institution. So alumni involvement in the institutional development, how the alumni involved in the institutional development through the monetary contribution, non-monetary contribution, by providing funding, by creating facilities. So this is what is they required to describe. Basically, this is the qualitative metrics. While the second matrix from this last key indicator is concerned with the alumni monetary contribution. This is purely based on the contribution, means how much donation, how much amount is donated by the alumni association to the institution. So this is about the fourth key indicator and last matrix of the fourth key indicator. And this is all about the overview of the criteria 5. Now we are coming across the first matrix, that is First matrix is the 511. This is the quantitative matrix. So quantitative matrix means two things are there required. One, that is the data, the template is provided. In that template, the institution is there required to provide the data. And second thing which is required, that is the documentation. So in respect to provided data, the institution is required to provide the documentation. So 511 quantitative is asking about the average percentage of the student benefited by the scholarship and freeship provided by the government during the last 5 years. So this is the routine matrix is there, that how many students have been benefited with the government scholarship. So specifically, this is concerned with the government scholarship. So how many students have been benefited. So the last 5 year data is asking about this matrix. The two areas are important for this matrix. One is the scholarship, that it's a routine process. We knows about the scholarship. The government scholarships are there, SC, ST, OBC, minority, etc., etc. How many students have been benefited? And the second, the area for this matrix is the freeship. The freeship means what? We were in the tuition fees. So how many students have been benefited for the freeship? So both the types of the areas which are there, and the student who have been benefited in both areas, the data of those students is there required to provide. And specifically, this matrix is concerned with the government. So the government scholarship and government freeship, how many students have been benefited, this is what is they are required to provide. The template, though this is the quantitative matrix, means what? Template is important, but for two matrix, 511, 512, for both matrix, the common template is there. So that we are going to discuss later on after the discussion of 512. Regarding supporting document for this matrix, that the non-eraser might have also said about, or whatever resource persons from last 3 years are connected with you, they might have been told about. The documents are most important requirement of revised assessment and accreditation process. So whole system is there based on the documentation. You are doing well, actual, in a practical, but you don't have the document. So your claim cannot be considered. That's why the documents are more important. Without document, there is no consideration of any data. For this matrix, the documents which are there required to provide, that is the government sanction letter attested by the principal. First and most important document which is required for this matrix is a government sanction letter attested by the principal. And one more document is required to prepare by the institution, the list of the beneficiary student with the sign of principal. So in last 5 years, the institution independently, a separate list is there required to prepare, and this list will be signed by the principal. So these two documents are there required to upload so as to clear this matrix. So the revised process is very specific. Metrics have been asked very specifically, and as well the NAAC peoples are asking to upload the specific document. As well, the NAAC people have been provided the specific place for the every matrix. Over there, the institution is required to upload the documentation. Now, for this matrix, when you are going to submit your online SSR, when you are across this matrix, then you will find the two places have been provided for this matrix. The two places have been provided for this matrix. In both the places, separate documents are there required to upload. So the first space which is provided for this matrix, in which you are going to upload these two documents, that is the government sanction letter attested by principal and the list of the beneficiary student with the sign of the principal. So one more space is also provided for this matrix, that is asking about the provide the additional information. So in such condition, what you can do, the consolidated government document report of the scholarship, freeship, and number of the student you are going to upload. In short, what we can say, the whatever you are providing as a supporting document, whatever documents you are providing to the first space, same document you can upload on your college website, and where it is asking additional information, so there you can provide the link of your institutional website. So in this manner, you can fulfill these two areas which have been asked for this matrix. This is the exact the space which I have been taken from the online SSR. So for this matrix, as like three spaces are there. In first place, that upload self-attested letter with the list of the student sanctioned scholarship. And where you are going to upload these two documents. And second space is asking about the additional information. So additional information, these are all documents you are going to upload on your college website, and you are providing the link of that your institutional website. And the third space, which is provided for this metric, that is to upload the data template. So table is there. That table we have to fill with the data, and that table is required to upload. So in this manner, the three places are there for this metric. So you can upload the respective document for the same. So now we are coming across the second matrix, that is the 512. So this is also the quantitative matrix, and this matrix is asking about the average percentage of the student benefited by the scholarship, free seat, etc. provided by the institution, non-government agencies during the last 5 years. So 512 is concerned with the quantitative matrix, and this matrix is asking about the average percentage of the student. Both metrics are same, that the scholarship and the freeship benefited, but this is specific for the scholarship which have been provided by the institution. The scholarship which have been provided by the non-government agencies, like any industry is going to provide the scholarship, some NGOs are going to provide the scholarship. So such all kind of the scholarship and freeship can be accumulated for this matrix. So last 5 year data is going to ask about. So one more provisions we can make here. So the suggestive provision for this matrix is as like that. The institute can offer the various scholarship in the sense. So you can include the scholarship because it's in hand of the institution. So amount doesn't matter, the number is important. So you can offer the institute can offer the scholarship as like the best academic scholarship, the best sports scholarship, the best NSS scholarship, best girl student scholarship. So as like you can increase the number of scholarship, amount doesn't matter, but number of scholarship is important. So one of the space, that certain space is here for this matrix, that the institution can arrange, can offer the number of the scholarship. And concern to the freeship, that we knows about that number of institutions are providing freeship. It's not through the documented process, but this system is there in most in maximum institution. So what is required to do? The freeship means what? The tuition fees. The institute it cannot take the tuition fees. We were in a tuition fees, isn't it? So rest of all amount, whatever is there except the tuition fees, the amount is going to take in the form of the fees. But the avoiding tuition fees, the fees is going to take, that is called as the freeship. So this process is there everywhere in institution, but there is no documented process. There is no documented process. So for this purpose, what is required to do, I will suggest after the discussion of this, that first and most important thing what the institution is required to do, that first you have to develop the institutional fellowship freeship policy. That should be uploaded to the SSR as well as to the uploaded on the college website. So again, this matrix having the some spaces, as per that we have to prepare the documentation. So institutional fellowship freeship policy is required to develop. What is meant by this? So simple, which student can benefit the fellowship, institutional fellowship, which students can benefit the institutional freeship. So this policy is possible or required to develop by the institution. For example, the students who are economically backward student. So as like I'm suggesting only, so how the policy can be developed. The students who are economically backward, the students who are financially weak, the students who are marginal group. So as like students are able to benefit of this institutional fellowship, as like student or the from these categories of the students are eligible for to take the benefit of the institutional fellowship. So as like 5 to 6 point including, the institute is required to develop the policy that is called the institutional fellowship freeship policy. And how the process is expected. That free ship is very normal process in every institutions, but that is not documented. So at the beginning of academic year, once the admission processes get completed, the institution is there required to take the name of the student. First, there is need to display the notice. So the institution is willing to provide the institutional fellowship. These are the condition. As per this condition, or the student who fit in these conditions, so they can apply for the institutional fellowship or the free ship. So once the applications will come, the sorting of the application, the committee they are required to sit. Through the committee, there should be the sanctioning of institutional fellowship and the free ship. So as like all minutes of the minute, the sanctioning letter of the institution, these documents are most important. So with this, if the institution is going, so definitely they will get benefited with respect to the 512. So first, what is important, that the institution is there required to develop the institutional fellowship free ship policy, upload to the website as well as to the SSR. The institution NGO scholarship free ship sanction letter. Sanction letter is most important. The student with whom the institution is going to claim such all students sanction letter is important. If the fellowship or the free ship is from the institution, that the institutional sanction letter is required, or it has been offered by any industry or the NGO, so the sanction letter from the NGO is also required. So this is the document. And one of the important document is expected for this, the audited statement of expenditure. If the institution is providing this free ship or the fellowship, that should be mentioned in the audit report. So this much amount is utilized for the purpose of the free ship or the scholarship. So this audited statement of expenditure is also one of the important document which is required to upload so as to claim this metrics. And consolidated report including the student list. So how the list is prepared, the government scholarship beneficiaries, the government free ship beneficiaries, how the list prepared for the earlier matrix, the similar list is also required to prepare for this matrix, sign of the principal, and you can upload this to the college website as well as you can upload to the SSR. So these are the documents which are required to upload under the title of the additional information, because I said that every matrix have been provided by the particular space. For this matrix, you can see the space which is provided for this matrix. So see, this is the space. The two space are there for this matrix. One is asking about upload any additional information, and second one is the institutional data in the prescribed format. So upload any additional information means what the documents just we discussed about. You can make the PDF file of the all document and you can upload in that one space which have been provided. And the second space specifically, this is asking about to upload the data template, where you can upload only the table or the template which have been provided. So next we are going to move with the template. So this is the template which is common for both the matrix, that is 511 as well as 512. So this matrix is asking about, this table is asking about the year, name of the scheme. You have to write the name of scheme, government scheme, institutional scheme, number of the student benefited by the government scheme and the amount, number of student benefited by the institutional scheme and amount. So clear cut information they have been asked, and very simple words they have been used, easily possible to understood. And last column of this template is asking about the provide the link. So the template is asking about the link of your institutional website. So what link you can provide over here, that these all document, the sanction letters and the list of the beneficiary you can upload on your college website, and the link of your college website you can provide in the last column of this template which have been asked. So the next matrix is concerned with the capacity building and the skill enhancement initiatives taken by the institution. So this is also the quantitative matrix, and the weightage for this matrix is the 10 for affiliated colleges, while the weightage is 8 for the autonomous colleges. Kind of initiatives have been taken by the institution for the skill enhancement of the student. Specific 4 areas have been asked. Through these 4 areas, the NAAC is expecting the institution is required to provide the data. This is the quantitative matrix, means what the data is they are required to provide. So the four areas which have been asked by the NAAC, first is the soft skill, second is the language and communication skill. What initiatives have been taken by the institution for the soft skill development? What initiatives have been taken by the institution for the language, for the development of language and the communication skill? What is doing by the institution under the life skill? Which areas specified under the life skill, like the yoga is there, physical fitness is there, health and the hygiene. And the fourth area, which have been asked by the NAAC, that the initiatives taken by the institution for ICT and the computing skill. What is doing by the institution for the development of the ICT skill, for the development of the computing skill. So these are the four areas through which the institution is required to provide data, as well as in the support of the document. And awareness of trend in technology. The autonomous college, three areas are similar for the autonomous college also, that the autonomous college is also asking about the soft skill, language and communication skill, life skill, and fourth, which is their ICT computing skill. So this area is asked for the affiliated colleges, while for autonomous colleges, in place of ICT and computing skill, NAAC have been asked about the awareness of trend in technology. What initiatives have been taken by the institution for the awareness of trend in technology? Now, here are some of the suggestions. So what is possible to do to the institutions for the particular area? So first, which I've been asked, that is the soft skill. So what is possible to do in easiest way to the institution? So the institution can organize the motivational guest lectures, workshop, or the training on the soft skills. So which are the areas, which are the titles of the soft skill? Like teamwork is there, dependability is there, adaptability is there, flexibility is there, leadership, problem solving, creativity. So these are the some of the topics, some of the subject, some of the areas on which the institution can organize the motivational guest lecture. The institute can organize the workshop as well as the training program. The second area, language and communication skill. So what is possible to do to the institution under this area? That the institute can conduct the skill development certificate courses or the value added courses, or sometime the institute can organize the guest lectures also, but more effective as the institution is offering the certificate courses or value added courses under the title language and communication skill. So which are as like courses, for example, reading, writing, spoken English, business communication, corporate communication, international communication, marketing communication, professional communication. So these are the some of the title, some of the topic on which the institute can offer the skill development certificate courses, value added courses, or sometime the institute can also organize the guest lectures. So the third area which have been asked by the NAAC, so that is the ICT and computing skill. So what initiatives is taken by the institution for the ICT and computing skill? Again, here the institute can offer the skill development certificate courses, computer programming, software application, word processing, database, PowerPoint presentation, search engine. So these are the some of the simple and the basic topics on which the institute can conduct the skill development certificate courses, or the institute can organize the exhibition. The institute can also organize the exhibition. So this is what is possible to do for the institution for the ICT and computing skill. And fourth area, which have been asked by the NAAC, that a kind of initiatives have been taken by the institution for the life skill. So what is easiest way to attain this area? The institute can organize the training program. The institute can organize the workshop. The institute can organize the awareness programs or the guest lecture on yoga, physical fitness, and health and hygiene. So these are the some of the suggestive activities which are possible to conduct under the specified area by the NAAC for the skill enhancement initiatives by the institution. Now we are coming across the most important area, that is the documentation. Again, these metrics have been provided the two space in which the particular documents are there required to upload. The first space is asking about the paste link of the institutional website. So what is possible to do? What is required to do? the information of aforesaid scheme on the college website with each details. So there is required to prepare the brochure, timetable, notices of activities, trainer details. If the trainer is there appointed by the institution or invited by the institution for life skill, the trainer detail, list of the student beneficiary, or the list of the student enrolled for the certificate courses, or the list of the student who attended program or the activities, if the institute is organized the activities, the list of the student. So these are all document you are going to upload on your college website under the title skill enhancement initiatives of the institution, and you have to provide the link of this all to the SSR, because specific space which is they're asking about to provide the link of the institutional website. So one more space is there for this matrix, that is the additional information, to upload the additional information. So this space, how you can fill this place? So the circular of the all activities, brochure of the all activities, notices, because every activity should begins with the notice. So notices is important. Attendance of the student, a report of the event, what kind of the activities have been conducted. So what is the outcome of that activity? How many beneficiaries were there? And some geotags photos. So with this content, you can make the report of each activities, and that report is also required to upload. And finally, the upload completed student list with sample completion certificate. As the institution is going with the skill development certificate course under this area, as the institution is going with the value added course under this area, then it is must some of the sample completion certificates are also required to upload so as to claim this matrix. So you can see, so these are the three places which have been provided for this matrix, in which the institution is there required to provide the document. First is asking about the link to the institutional website, just we discussed about, so what link you can provide. Second is asking about the institutional data in the prescribed format. The template is there next to this. We are going to discuss about that template as it is. We have to upload after filling data, and any additional information. The third space which is asking for this matrix is any additional information. Under this space, we can upload these all documents just we discussed about, the circular, brochure, notices, attendance of the student, a report of event, and some geotags photos along with the some of the completion certificate. So this is the template which is asked for this matrix, the capacity building and skill enhancement initiatives taken by the institution. So this is the table, name of the capability enhancement program. So under this you have to write whether it is the soft skill, language and communication skill, life skill, or the ICT computing skill, date of implementation from the date which that program is started, number of students enrolled, and number of agency involved so as to conduct this program. If any outsider, if you are outsourcing, then you have to write the name of agency which is supporting, helping, or through which the institute is conducted these activities. Otherwise, you can write your institutional name, as there is no any outsider agencies involved. So with this information, you can fill this template and you can upload. So next matrix is concerned with the average percentage of the student benefited by the guidance for the competitive examination and career counseling offered by the institution. This is also quantitative matrix, means the data is most important, means the template is most important, in which the institution is there required to provide data. So I would like to suggest for this matrix, how you can make the effective, how you can make the outcome based matrix. So two areas have been asked specifically by the NAAC. One is the competitive examination and career counseling. What initiatives have been taken by the institution for competitive examination and what is doing by the institution for the career counseling. So here, I would like to request to the institution, at the beginning of academic year, there should be establishment of the competitive examination preparatory cell. So how this cell can function so as to effectiveness, so as to fruitfulness, that first the competitive examination cell has been established, and once the admission process is completed, then there will be notice circulated through the cell that the students who are interested for the competitive examination, they can enroll their name with the so and so teacher. Once the name comes to this cell, And again, second option is also for this, as number are more, as the number of students are more, the enrollment is more than that of capacity, then this cell can organize one test examination, competitive examination, which is based on the competitive examination, and the student who passed from that test examination, so they can enroll under the competitive examination cell. So this is why I am suggesting, because the data which is required to provide for this matrix is the continued data is there. This data is asking, this template is asking about the number of students who appeared for the examination, number of students who passed for the examination. If the institution is going through this way, that at first selection of the particular student, and throughout a year, you can provide guidance to those particular students who have been selected. It may be 30, 40, 50, as per the capacity of the institution. So at first to select the student, then throughout the year, those students will be guided. Those students will be provided the guidance and support. For this, you can organize the guest lecture. For this, you can invite the expert from the outside. But these fixed students will be there with you throughout the year. And the same student will appear for the examination. And obviously, some of the students will get passed from this examination. Then your claim becomes very strong. So second, which I would like to suggest for the career and counseling. So as how you develop the competitive examination, similarly, the institute can develop the career and counseling cell. So again, same process you can apply for this cell also. After the establishment of the cell, there will be the notice, or formally you can organize, or formally through this cell is possible to organize the career counseling. So that first program will be there for the art faculty, career counseling. What kind of career opportunities are there after doing arts, after doing commerce? Then second program will be there for the commerce faculty, career opportunity from the commerce. Then third program will be for the science faculty, that career opportunity in the field of the science. As like you can organize number of career opportunities program for a different stream. So one more innovative steps you can take for this purpose, or through this, or you can extend this as an innovative phase. So through the career counseling, you can assess the interest of the student. You can assess the interest of the student interest you are knowing about. This is the group of the student. This student is interested for the industrial field of profession. This is the group of student. This group is interested for the banking field of profession. This is the group of student which is interested for the business purpose. So in career counseling, or during the career counseling, this cell will know the interest of the student. So as per that, you can continue the furthermore guidance for this group of the student. So after the first phase of the career counseling, again you can make the group. So banker student group will be one, the industry, chemical industrial group will be the second, ICT sectors group will be the third group, and business interested student will be the fourth group. So again, you can make the different group, and you can provide the separate career counseling as per their specification. And this you can convert as an incubation center, because what is incubation? Incubation center is a part of third criteria. As the institution is PG, then incubation center is must. What kind of initiatives have been taken by the institution for the incubation center? So this career counseling you can link with the incubation center. So on the basis of the interest of the student, which you are knowing during the career counseling, so those group of the student you can send to the incubation center. Over there, you can provide them a special guidance as per their field of interest. So that will become the incubation center. And from after the incubation center, the students who are again interested, some of the students are interested in the industrial field, then the institute can provide some of the seed money to such a student so as to start their business, so as to start their industry, small scale industry. So that will come under the startup. So the career counseling is so important, because this career counseling you can connect next to the incubation center, and after incubation center or the incubation center you can link with the startup. So this is what the suggestion, so as to make effective and impressive this matrix. The 5-year data is asking for this matrix, that the student who have been benefited through the competitive examination and the career counseling shell. The table is there, template is there, the template or the table which they are required to fill. The important part of the documentation. So the two spaces are there provided for this matrix. That one space is asking about the additional information. So which document you can upload for the space which is asking about the additional information, that is also called as the supporting document. The circular, the circular which is stating the institute is going to offer the guidance for the career counseling, guidance for the competitive examination. The interested students can enroll their names as like circular or the notice. There should be the brochure, notices, a list of the student who attended. Attendance report is required to upload with the sign of the student and the principal and course coordinator. Timetable, that when you conducted the guest lectures or the lectures for the competitive examination, when you conducted the session for the career counseling, this timetable is also important. A list of trainer, if you have been invited the trainer from the outside or your in-house teacher who took this session, so name of that teacher or the trainer. Feedback is most important, that you have to take the feedback from the student. So how and how much they benefited or what kind of benefited they, so concern to their feedback is also important. You have to collect the feedback from the student. Activity report is they required to provide. And the important is the newspaper cutting. If this news this kind of the news that so and so institution is offering the competitive examination cell and career counseling cell, so if this news is there in the newspaper, then the newspaper cutting is most important, most important evidence. If newspaper cutting is there during DVV, NAAC is not asking anything, because NAAC is going to suppose that is one of the authentic document. So these are the document. These all document you have to scan it. You have to make one PDF file and you have to upload to the space which have been asked. And the template, the table, the upload aforesaid document to the college website and paste link to the template, because template last column is asking about provide the link. Then which link you can provide for the table in last column. So these are all document you are going to upload to the SSR. These are all document you have to upload on your college website under the title of competitive examination and career counseling, and provide the link of your institutional website which is containing this. So you can see these are the two places which have been provided for this matrix. One is asking about the data template, where you are going to upload the table, which we are going to see later on. And second space is asking about any additional information. So these are all document, just what we discussed as additional information. These are all document you can make a PDF file, scan it at first, and you can make the PDF file and you can upload for the SSR. See, this is the template. So the last column of the template right now I'm not able to see, but last column of the template is asking about the provide link. Then which link you can provide here. So whatever we discuss the document, these are all document you can upload on your college website. And last column which is asking about the link, so you can provide the link of your college website. And this is about the table. Year-wise data is required to provide the year, name of the activities, number of students attended or participated, details of career counseling, which type of the activities have been conducted under the career counseling, and the number of students benefited, attended, participated in a career counseling, and number of students placed through the campus placement. So the second last column is asking about the number of students who placed through the campus placement. Here you can repeat the number of students, the data which already which you are going to provide for the placement matrix. So here if the data is going to repeat, then there is no any problem. But mostly there is no repetition. Repetition is not accepted. You cannot claim one activity for more than 2 metrics. But here the space is provided. The placement data which you are providing here, if it is repeated for the placement metric, then also there won't be any problem. So here you can provide the student who have been placed through the campus placement. So this is the template or the table which is asking about, and you have to provide the data in this template. So the next matrix is a concern with 515. This is quantitative matrix. This is asking about weightage is 5. It is asking about the institution has transparent mechanism for timely redressal of the student grievances, including sexual harassment and the ragging cases. So this is opt type of matrix. The 4 areas specifically, have been asked by the NAAC. Through these 4 areas, with reference to these 4 areas, the institution is required to select the option. The first area is asking about the implementation of the guideline of the statutory regulatory bodies. Means what? So the 3 cell or the committees are mandatory to the free higher education institution as per the UGC guideline 2013. So this has been made mandatory. As well as the UGC have been provided the guideline that how should be the constitution of the student redressal cell, how should be the ICC, that is the internal compliance cell. This cell is looking for the sexual harassment, and how should be the anti-ragging cell, which member should be a part of this cell. So what should be the meeting agenda, so what should be the frequency of meeting, which are the area in which the committee is required to work. So each and every detail has been provided by the NAAC in the form of the guideline. So it is asking about whether all guidelines have been implemented, whether these committees have been constituted as per guidelines or not. This is one of the option is asking about. Second option is the organization wide awareness and the undertaking on policies with the zero tolerance. So whether the zero tolerance policy have been accepted by the institution or not, whether the awareness programs are going to organize by this committee or not. So about this is asking about. And third one is the mechanism for the submission of the online, offline student grievances. What mechanism is there with the institution? If the student is required to apply, student is required to file the case against these 3 areas, then what provision have been made by the institution? Whether the offline provision is there, that the application forms or hard copy, it should be filled and it is to be submitted to the institution, or you have the online provision. So this is about what is asking. And the timely redressal of the grievances through the appropriate committee. Once the student or any employees of the institution is filing the case, whether that case is solved within stipulated time, or whether that case is solved through the appropriate committee, or that is resolved only in the cabin of principal or in cabin of management. So about this is asking, and considering these 4 areas, the institution is required to give the answer. Institution is required to select the option. So here again, there are some of the suggestive steps for a student grievance committee. So it is mandatory as per Uniform Statute 2019. So first guideline was there in 2013, but second, it is updated in 2019. So which is the area of working of student grievance committee? So normally there are 15 types of the complaints. As the student have the problem in the 15 area, so the student can go with the student grievance committees. Which are those areas? There is admission contrary, irregularity in the admission. If the institution is demanding money in excess more than that of fees, as the reservation policies are not going to followed by the institution for the admission. So the institution is asking about the documents which are not mandatory. Unnecessarily documents are going to asking by the institution, as there is a kind of discrimination. As the student facilities, there is no student facilities, or there is no adequate student facility. So these are the some of the areas. As the student having the problems, the student can go with the student grievance committee, and it is mandatory that whatever complaints of the student, whatever problem to the student, it should be resolved within 15 days. So it's a mandatory duration have been given by the UGC. So anyhow, it should be resolved in the 15 days. Then zero tolerance policy means what? So basically this is applicable for the anti-ragging cell. This is the committee which work against the ragging. So zero tolerance policy means no act of ragging, major or minor, shall go unnoticed. No ragger, male or female student, shall go unpunished. Means what? So the institution cannot ignore any kind of the ragging, whether the ragging is comes under the major category or ragging is under the minor category, whatever it may be, but the institution should not be ignore any things which comes under the ragging, though it is major or minor. It should be considered by the institution and action taken if they are required. no ragger male or female student shall be go unpunished. So there should not be any kind of the discrimination. Ragger, who is ragging? The male is ragging, female is ragging. On the basis of their sex, we should not be ignored. The institution should not be ignored unpunished. So there won't be any kind of the discrimination, whether the male ragger is there, female ragger is there. So as per the policy, they must be punished. No institution that failed to take action against the ragging shall be allowed it to operate. So this is very strict action have been mentioned, as the institution is not taking any action against the ragging, then such institutions are not able to operate. So this is what the zero tolerance policy, as or this policy, if it is going to adopt by the institution, so that is called the zero tolerance policy. So which is mostly applicable for the anti-ragging cell. So the one more important mandatory committee is the internal compliance cell, that is called the ICC. This committee works against the sexual harassment at workplace. So which complaints comes under this cell? Any unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of the sexual nature, demand or request for the sexual favor, making sexual colored remark, physical contacts and advances, showing pornography. So these are the some of the acts which comes under the internal compliance cell. If any student is going to suffering or suffering with such kind of the act from anybody, so that student or employee can go with the internal compliance cell, that is called the ICC. And the data which is required for this matrix, that first the institution is required to develop the policy, that is called the grievance redressal policy, with reference to the prevention of the sexual harassment committee and anti-ragging cell, constitution of various committee for addressing the issue, the documents which are there required, the data which have been asked, and the meeting of the committee, number of cases received and redressed, and the activity report. So this is the data which have been asking for this matrix, and this data is there required to provide in a particular template which have been provided. So as a part of the document, which documents are required to upload so as to claim this matrix. So again, the space which have been asking for the additional information, which type of the documents you can upload for additional information, the report of various awareness program activities organized by the aforesaid committee. So this problem is there everywhere, that in an institutional level, mostly the institutions which are in the taluka place, which are in a rural place, so there are no any complaints of internal sexual harassment complaint is nil, ragging complaints are also more or less nil, student redressal complaint will be 2 or 3, but they are also equal to the nil. Then the committee cannot say that we don't have any complaints, hence there is no any work to the committee. Which these 3 committees, student redressal, ICC, as well as anti-ragging. So though there are no any cases, then also all these 3 committees should organize the awareness program. These 3 committees are expected to organize the activities, and activity report in the form of the document it is required to upload. The grievance redressal policy document, that just I suggested there should be the policy document with reference to these 3 cells. So the policy document is also required to upload as additional information. Then second space which have been provided for this metric is specifically asking about the minutes of the meeting of aforesaid committees and the composition. So the composition of committee, so all 3 committee, and the minutes of meeting of all these 3 committee are required to upload in a specific space which have been provided, and it is asking the details of the student grievances, including sexual harassment and the ragging cases. As any cases are there, concerned to the grievance, concerned to the anti-ragging, concerned to the sexual harassment, so the cases or the result of the cases, a result of the cases detail is required to upload as a documentary evidences. Paste link of online submission of the grievances. So now there should be the online provision. So there is no more value, there is no more weightage for the offline process. If the institution is going with the offline process, then there is a less weightage. That's why this is expected online process. So whatever problems, whatever students, whatever sufferer directly can file the case through the online process. So there should be the online provision, and the link of online provision, link of online submission of the grievances is required to paste with the SSR in the space which I have been specifically asking about. So you can see here. So the 3 spaces are there for this matrix. Additional information. So these are all documents you can upload as additional information, just what we discussed about. And second space is asking about the minutes of the meeting of all these 3 committee. So minutes of the meetings of last 5 years, all minutes of the meeting should be scanned. You have to make the PDF file, and all minutes of the meeting you can upload in a second space which have been asked, and details of the student grievances, including sexual harassment and the ragging cases. So any cases are there with the institution. So those cases details are asking about to upload in a last space which have been asked. So this is about the documentation, and the template which concerned with this matrix. So template is not there. So we are moving to the next metric, that is 521. This is also the quantitative matrix. Average percentage of the placement of outgoing student having the weightage 10. Last 5 years, how many students have been placed from your institute? This data is required to provide. The template is for this matrix, which is asking about year, number of students placed, name of employees, employer with the contact detail, the package received, and program through which they graduated. So this detail is required to provide in a template. The important part of the documentation. So which documents are required so as to claim this matrix? Appointment letter self-attested with the package. So appointment letters are most important. If the institution is going to claim with 100 student, the institution is going to claim with 100 student placed from the institution. So the 100 appointment letters are must. Without appointment letter, you cannot claim for this matrix. And the appointment letter must be attested by the student. Xerox copy of that appointment letter, it should be attested by the student. So as like appointment letter of all students are required. Then the notice, brochure, circular of in off-campus interview, newspaper cutting, and geotags photos. If the institution is organizing in-campus interview, then obviously there will be the notice, there will be the brochure or the circular. Off-campus interviews notice, brochure is also you can upload, but more important is for the in-campus. The newspaper cutting, if the news is given in the, if this news is published in the newspaper that in so and so institution in-campus interview will be held. So as like if any newspaper cutting is there with the institution, that is also a very important document. So you can upload this. And the geotag photos, that the in-campus interview is going to take by the representative from the industry. They are taking the interview. So as like one photograph is there required to take, and that photograph is also required to upload as a document evidences. Annual report mentioned the placement. So institutional annual report in which the placement detail is mentioned. It should be mentioned that in the year 1920, our institutions 100 students have been placed. So the annual report of particular page is also required to upload as a document evidences. The placement cell report, being a placement cell, is important that the placement cell, annual report of the placement cell is also required to upload as a document evidences. And in the placement cell, the detail is required to mention from the year so and so in the year 1920. So 100 students of our institution have been placed, and the details of those students should be there in the report of the placement cell. So the placement cell report is also required to upload. Then alumni association report, minutes of the meeting, stated appreciation. So this is additional information. So this placed student appreciation is normally is required to done by the alumni association. So this issue is also discussed in the alumni association meeting, that they appreciated the student who have been placed. So minutes of meeting of the alumni association stated appreciation of the placed student. So these minutes of the meeting can be also uploaded as a supportive document. And the student database on the college website, and provide the link to the SSR. So student database is one of the important requirement for most of the metrics, for most of the criteria. If you are providing the link of the student database, the assessment becomes very easy. The assessment to the DVV team become very easy. So the database of your student should be there on your college website, and the link of the student database, if you are going to provide, then your claim become very concrete, and it becomes very easiest to assessment. So this is also one of the important inclusion you can make. The template, the table which have been asked for this matrix, the table or the template is asking about, the link is asking. So last column of the table or the template is asking about the institutional link. So which link you can provide here? If the students are more, if the 100 and 150 students are there, the space is only 5 MB. Every matrix having the space of 5 MB for to upload the data. If your documents are more than that of 5 MB, your appointment letters are more than that of 5 MB, then remaining appointment letter you can upload to college website. And in last column, which have been asked, over there you can provide the link of all appointment letter which have been uploaded to the college website. Here you can do also one thing. So you can upload a few sample appointment letter as a document evidences in additional information, and rest of all appointment letter you can upload to the college website. And in last column specifically is asking about to provide the link. So for that you can provide the link of your college website where you have been uploaded the appointment letter. So concerned to the template of this matrix, so list of the student placed including details with the sign of principal. So one more additional list is required to prepared by the institution. So the letterhead will be there. On the letterhead, you have to prepare the list of the student who have been placed, and below will be the signature of the principal. So this is one of the, this is called the institutional authenticity. So institutional authentic document is also required. So the list of the student signed by the principal, this can be also uploaded. So here you can see this is the space which have been provided for this matrix. Upload any additional information. In additional information, you can upload this all document, just what we discussed about. Self-attested list of the student placed. Here what is asking, self-attested list of student placed. Here on the institution letterhead, the list can be prepared, and this list below will be signed by the principal and the placement cell. So this list is required to upload for the second space which I've been asking about, and the third space is asking to upload the data template where the Excel sheet data which have been provided, so you can upload it. So see, so this is the data template asking about year-wise information, the name of the student placed, the program graduated from, simple information is there, the name of the employer with the contact detail, pay package at the appointment, and the link of the appointment letter. So all appointment letter which you uploaded to the SSR, all appointment letter you have to upload on your college website also, and in last column you can provide the link of your college website. So next matrix is asking about the average percentage of the student progression to the higher education. So spatially the progression, which is to be called as a progression, the definition of the progression with the terminology have been provided by the NAAC. If the student is progressing from passing taking admission UG to PG, PG to MPhil, PG to PhD, PhD to postdoctoral. So these are only the terminology under which if the student are, that is going to consider UG to PG, PG to MPhil, or PG to PhD, MPhil to PhD, or PhD to the postdoctoral. So this is also one of the important areas which having the good weightage. 15 is the weightage for this matrix where last 5 years data is required to provide. So you can see as a part of the documentation. So the table is also for this matrix, which is asking about the year, number of students enrolled into the higher education, program graduated from, department graduated from, name of institution where they joined. So these detailed informations we have to provide with the template, and important part of the documentation. Now, which are the important documentation? List of the student progress to the higher education with the details, admitted institute, program authenticated by principal. So how for last matrix, the institution prepared the list of the placed student with the signature of the principal. So similarly for this matrix, a list of the student who progressed for higher education, signature by the principal. So as like list is required to prepare the bona fide certificate or ID of the admitted student. So this is the most important document so as to claim for this matrix. The bona fide certificate or ID of the admitted student. ID, your institution ID is not required. Or if you are going to claim student progressed for UG to PG, then UG I card is not required. So I card in which institution the student took the admission, so that I card is required, or the bona fide certificate, it will be issued after taking admission. So all student ID should be there with the institution, or the bona fide certificate should be there with the institution, so as to claim for this matrix. So this is a part of the supporting document the institute can upload. The second space which is asking about the additional information. So here the paste link of the student database on college website. I said that the student database is most important, is required for the various metrics. As well, the metrics claim become very strong. So here also the paste link which is asking for the additional information, or in additional information, you can provide the student database which is there on your college website, link of student database which is there on your college website. So this is the space which have been provided by the NAAC for this matrix. Upload supporting data for the student alumni. So supporting data means what? List of the student progressed and the IDs of the student or bona fide of the all student you can upload here. Institutional data in the prescribed format, the template is there, that template you have to upload it. And any additional information, the third space, there you can provide the link of your college website. The link should be concerned with the student database. So this will be the additional informations you can provide for this. And this is the data template which is asking about name of student enrolling into the higher education, program from which graduated, name of institution where the student joined, and the name of program which the student is admitted. So simple type of information have been asked, which is required to provide. The next matrix is a 531. This is also quantitative matrix, and this matrix having the two sub questions. That one sub question is appearing and one sub question is the qualifying. Means the student percentage or the student qualifying the state, national, international level examination during the last 5 years. The example is also provided. Which are those examinations? Which are those examinations? JAM, the CLAT, GATE, GMAT, CAT, GRE, TOEFL, civil services, state government examinations, etc., etc. So these are the examination. Either the student is passed or the student is appeared. Both types you can claim with this matrix. The important document, as we are going to claim with the student who qualify this examination, the data template is also there, the table is also there, in which we have to provide the information. But as a part of the documentation, which document is there required for this matrix, specifically for the sub matrix 5231, that is the student qualifying, the grade card or the mark sheet is most important document. The grade card or the mark sheet of the student who passed this examination. If you are going to claim 15 student, then all 15 student grade card or the mark sheet is important. Along with this, the ID of your institution is also important. The ID of your institution is going to justify that the student belongs to your institution, and the mark sheet and grade card. So this is the evidence of the student qualify. So this is the important document for the sub matrix to student qualify. And the similar sub question for this matrix is a student who have been appeared. The student who have been appeared. So for this purpose, supporting document list of the student with each detail authenticated by principal. So similar list you can also prepare for the qualify by the sign of the principal. And the second most important is the acknowledgement receipt or the hall ticket which usually normally get after submission of the application. So the acknowledgement or the hall ticket is the second most important document which is required so as to claim this matrix, as well as the student ID, and the ID should belong to your institution. So these are the supporting document which you can upload for the space which have been provided. You can see the 3 space have been provided for this matrix. Upload supporting data for the same means what the document, just what we discussed about, you can upload institutional data in the prescribed format. The template is asking, so template you can upload, which is there in Excel sheet. And additional information, paste link of student database. Again, as additional information here, you can provide the link of student database which is there on your college website. So this is the 3 areas in which you can provide the data. And this is the template which have been asking for the 523. So template is complicated. So year, the registration number of students selected, qualified. So the net for a net examination, slate examination, gate examination. So the name of student you have to write. So as part of the example, I have put some of the information. I have provided some of the data as a part of the information, because this template is very complicated. Number of colleges are asking about how to fill this template. So you can take the screenshot as an example, which I have been put some of the data here. Registration number, NET, NEET examination. Under NEET examination, the student who have been cleared the NEET examination, so one by one you can write the name. If the student are clear the slate examination, then under the column of slate you can write the name of student. If the student have been cleared the gate examination, below the column of gate examination you can write the name of student. So as like you can fill the data, you can provide the information for this template. So you can take the screenshot for your reference. That will become easy to fill this template, this table. So the next matrix is concerned with the 531. This is concerned with the quantitative matrix, number of award medals for outstanding performance in sport and cultural. Specifically, this is asking about the award and medal, and the level of award and medal should be at least university, state level, national level, and the international level. So if the award is there for whole institute, that is counted as 1. And award is there to the individual institute, that is counted as 1, no doubt. So weightage is also good for this matrix. There is a 20 weightage for this matrix. And concern to the documentation, the data which is there required to provide. The template is provided for this matrix, which is asking about year, name of award, medal, whether it is the university level, state level, that option we have to choose. Then whether it is under sport or cultural, that option is also required to choose. The Aadhaar number of the student is required to mention, or the student ID is also accepted, and the name of student. So this is the simple information which is required to provide for this matrix. And the documents which are there required to upload as a supporting document. So here also the e-copies or the letter of certificate of award. As the institution receives the letter before award, obviously the letter or the mail is received to the institution. So that letter, e-copies or the mail should be there so as to claim this matrix as a supporting document. And additional information is also asking about. The 3 spaces are provided for this matrix. One is for supporting document, e-copies or the letter of award you can upload over there. Second is asking about the additional information. So what is possible to upload as additional information? So geotag photos of award receiving. If the institution having the photos at the time of receiving award, or the institution having the newspaper cutting, so this news is published in the local newspaper or national or state newspaper that so and so institution awarded this medal, or as like any news is there, that newspaper cutting you can also upload as additional information. And a report and geotag photos of winner felicitation program, as like provision is there in the institution, as that is the winner's felicitation. If such program is organized by the institution, the report of such program and some of the geotag photos of this program, that is the winner's felicitation program, you can also upload as a additional information. Here you can see 3 spaces are provided for this matrix, institutional data. So template we have to upload. Second is e-copies of award, just what we discussed about. And in additional information, these all informations you can upload, or these documents you can upload just what we discussed under the title of the additional information. So this is the simple template which have been asking about the year, name of the award, medal, whether it is the bronze, whether it is the silver, gold. So that is they're required to provide. Whether that is the team or the individual, you have to mention. Whether it is the university, state level of that competition is there required to mention. Whether it is for the sport or the cultural, that is required to type there, and the name of the student who award winner. So the name of that student is also required in last column of the template. So 532 is concerned with this is the qualitative metrics expected to describe. So institution facilitated student representation and the engagement in the various administrative, co-curricular and extracurricular activity, like the student council is there, student representation in various bodies as per prescribed process and the norms. So weightage for this matrix is 10. This is the qualitative matrix. Description is expected. So how should be effective description? That first and most important, every institution should have the student council. And as a part of the description, there is need to describe about the what is the process of student council, how the student council is going to form, what are the functions of the student council, and what are the activities normally conducted by the student council. This is to be the first part of the description. Besides this, the college also constituted various committees, and those committees are required the student representative. Those committees are administrative committees or academic committees, etc., etc. Example, IQAC student representative is required. In CDC, student representative is required. Anti-ragging committee, student grievance redressal committee, sport committee, cultural committee. So these are the some of the committees where the student representation is required. Student as a members are a part of this committee. So in the description, this is to be required to describe that these are the committees or cell where the student are a part of this committee, and they are the contributing to the administrative part as well as some of the academic part. So this is the part of the description. So with this point, you can elaborate your description in 500 words. The additional information part of the documentation. So aforesaid committees minutes of the meeting. So this document should be uploaded as a document evidences. Aforesaid committees minutes of the meeting means what? The minutes of meeting of IQAC in which the student is present. Minutes of the meeting of CDC in which the student is present. As well, something have been pointed out by the student, something have been presented by the student. So as like minutes of the meetings are there required to upload so as to claim this matrix. Then the student council activities report and the geotag photos. In last 5 years, a kind of activities which have been conducted by the student council. So activity report with the geotag photos is the next document. Then this matrix is asking, normally having the two spaces. One is asking about the additional information. These all document you can scan and you can make one PDF file and you can upload. And the second space for this matrix is asking about the paste link. Then which link you can paste here, which link of your institutional website you can provide here. So the constitution and process of student council you can upload on your college website, the notices of the student council, circular of student council, and last 5 years student council list. So these all documents you can upload on your college website, and here you can provide the link of that your college website with the content of this regarding the student council. So you can see the two spaces have been provided for this matrix. One is asking about the additional information where you can upload these documents, what we just discussed just now. And second space is asking about the paste the link of additional information. So this all what we discussed just now under the title of paste link. So this all information document you can upload on your college website, and here you can provide the link for this. So 533 is quantitative matrix. Again, this is high weightageable matrix which having the 20 and is asking about the average number of the sport and cultural event competition in which the student of the institution participated during last 5 years. So it is considered as the institution is organized. It is also considered as the nearby institution is organized and your student have been participated. So both types are considered for this matrix. But for autonomous college, the other institution have been organized and your student have been participated. So this is not considered for the autonomous colleges, but for affiliated colleges, your institution is organized and student participated, or nearby institution is organized, your student participated. So both are considered for this matrix. So weightage is very high, 20. And what kind of documentary evidences is there required? So basically 5 years data we have to provide, or the institution is required to provide. The cultural and sport event competition organized by the institution, that your institute is organized or your student participated in nearby institution. So template is asking about the year, name of activities and number of activities. So simple template is there in which we have to provide the data. The important is the document. So which documents are there required, with the help of which document we can claim effectively to this matrix. So these are the document that the two space have been provided. Only one space is there. Two spaces have been provided for this matrix. One is asking about the additional information. In additional information, so you can make the report, name of the activities, list of the participant student, notices of activities, timetable of activities or the competition, time schedule, and some of the result document. So all inclusive these document, all these inclusive documents, you can scan it and you can make one PDF file and you can upload to the additional information, and a report of the event activities, photos, upload to the SSR as well as college website. So second space which is asking about the report of the event, the title of the activities, event of the activities, date, outcome, number of participants, and some of the geotag photos you have to upload to the space which have been provided. So you can see, so these are the three spaces have been provided for this matrix. Any additional information, so discussed document you can upload for the space as additional information. A report of the event, so you have to prepare the report of each event with the date, title, number of participants and outcome, and a few geotag photos. And third space is asking about the data template. So Excel sheet provided in which you have to provide the data, and that data template you can upload. So see, this is the data template. Simple data template is asking about date of event activities, date, month, year, name of activities, and name of the student participated. So most of the colleges are providing data for this template, or they are going to claim with this matrix, and near about 50% claim is going to rejected by the DVB. Why this happens? So let me clear. So the institutions are considering an event in the sense, supposed to be a running is one of the event. So the institution is going to mention about the 200-meter running, 500-meter running, 600-meter running, 500-meter running, the student participant, 600-meter running, student participate. So as like they are going to consider this as a one activity, but this all type comes under the one event. So that's why during the DVB, the claim is going to minimize. So due to confusion in the event and activity. So at the beginning, if you are going to fill the data with this consideration, then there won't be any problem during the DVB. So year-wise data you can provide for this matrix. So this is the registered alumni 541. This is the qualitative matrix. Means what? This matrix is required to describe about how the alumni association is working for the institution. What is the contribution of the alumni association for the institution? So basically these two metrics 541, 542 are assessed as your alumni is registered. If alumni is not registered, then most probably these two metrics are not going to assessed, or these two metrics get the zero scale. That's why it is better to have the alumni association should have the registered. So this matrix is the qualitative matrix is asking about to describe how or in which manner the alumni association is contributing to the institution for the development. So descriptions you can provide. So description in the form of that, how the alumni association is registered. After that, the activities which have been conducted by the alumni association. For example, how the alumni association is supporting to the in-house student. Number of activities which have been conducted by the alumni association for the student. So job fair have been organized. motivational lecture have been organized. The training is provided to the in-house student in a sport, in cultural, how to write the research paper, etc., etc. So as like activities you can claim with these descriptions. So as well, how directly they involve in the development of the institution, how they generated donation for the institution, how they contacted to the society, and how they generated donation for the institution, how they collected donation for the institution. So this is a kind of contribution which have been made by the alumni association to the institution. You can describe in detail in 500 words. The documentation which is expected for this matrix is that first important document which is asking that the registration of the alumni compulsory, that registration letter is asking about. Then the registration certificate you have to upload. Then the constitution of alumni association. So the composition and the constitution of alumni association you have to upload. Activities of alumni association. So in last 5 years, the activity which have been conducted by the alumni association, more focused to the remarkable activities which have been conducted by the alumni association, and donation monetary and non-monetary. So how many donation have been directly how many donated by the alumni association, and how indirectly they have been generated donation for the institution, that also you can describe in a description. And related documents you can upload over here. Photograph of the event with the report. So you can make the report of alumni association, activity report of alumni association, and so this report you can make authentic with some geotab photos, and this report you can upload. So this matrix is also asking about the paste link of aforesaid all document on the college website. So this have been provided the 2 spaces you can see here. So this is the space which have been provided for this matrix. Upload any additional information. So these all 5 to 6 type of the document you can upload as additional information. And second space is asking about the paste link for the additional information. So this all document you can upload on your college website under the title of alumni association, and that link you can provide here, which is asking specifically for the link of the institution. And the last matrix which is their concern with the last matrix which is their concern is a quantitative matrix 542. This matrix is purely based on a monetary donation. The institute can go with this matrix as the alumni association is the registered. As well, the donation from the alumni association, opt type of matrix, the 4 to 5 options are there. As per the donation made by the alumni association, the institute can opt the options that more than 5 lakhs, option A 4 to in between 4 to 5, option B 3 to 4, option C, D, E as like options are there, and the institute is required to opt the option. So at one side you can see the limit of amount is for autonomous, amount is for affiliated college, and at the other side you can see, so this is the limit of amount for the autonomous colleges. The important document for this matrix, or so as to claim this matrix, is the important document is the audited statement of expenditure. So without audited statement of expenditure, you cannot claim for this matrix. So first important requirement so as to claim this matrix is alumni association registration, because as alumni association is registered, then only the bank account is possible to create. And when the bank account will be created, then only it is possible to transfer the amount from the alumni association account to the institutional account. Then only it comes under this matrix. So the alumni should be registered, and the transfer of this amount should be there from the account of the alumni association to the institution account. As like audited statement of expenditure is required to prepare with the help of the CA, chartered accountant or auditor. So this is the one important document. And second important document is the audit report, financial audit report, and prepare a list of the alumni with an amount donated. So an extra additional list can be prepared by the institution with the name of the alumni and how much amount they have been donated. So this list authenticated by the principal can be uploaded. Paste the link of alumni activities for the institute website. This matrix is asking about the 2 space. These all document as additional informations you can upload, and one of the space is asking about the link. So these all alumni activity report you have to upload on your college website under the title of Alumni Association, and the link of that Alumni Association which is there on your college website. You can paste the link of your college website stated Alumni Association, the space which have been provided here for this matrix. So this is about the last matrix, the end of last matrix. So with this, end of discussion of criteria 5. So thank you very much. Over to organizer.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind enlightening guidance of criterion 5 student support and progression. If someone has any query, they can ask their questions.
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Yes. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Ayub sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Very good afternoon.
Once again, thank you very much for this very knowledgeable seminar, knowledgeable talk. And I would also like to thank Mungsaji Darwa, Amalukin Mahavidyalaya Yavatmal, Pulsing Naik, Usad, and HRDC Amravati for organizing such excellent workshops. I have one question, sir.
Yes, please.
In this, there is one provision for placements here.
Yes, sir.
So we place our students in private organizations as well as government organizations.
Yes, sir.
So is there any segregation or is there any preference for government organizations?
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all. No any preference. So all are considered as a placed student, whether they have been placed for the government sector or they have been placed for the private sector. All are considered and counted as a placed student.
Okay, sir. So nice of you. Thank you. Thank you, host.
Thank you.
Host, madam, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Any queries? Once again, thank you very much, sir. Now we stepped in the concluding phase. I'm inviting to conclude the program by the expressing vote of thanks, Neha Mahurkar, madam. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to the respected resource persons and the enthusiastic participants. I, Miss Neha Mahurkar, Assistant Professor, Mungsaji Maharaj Mahavidyalaya Darwa, welcomes you all on this virtual platform for the 4th day of this national level faculty development program on NAAC, revised assessment and accreditation framework. I am here to propose the vote of thanks for today's session. In today's session, we had Dr. Ayub Sheikh sir, and I am very grateful to sir for throwing the light on criteria 5, which is study support and progression. Sir has presented the detailed informations. The session was very resourceful. Thank you so much, sir. Also, we had Dr. Deepak Nanavre, sir, for enlightening us with their knowledge on 6 criteria, which is governance, leadership, and management. Sorry. Yes, thank you so much, sir, for explaining all the points in details. I am very thankful to you, sir.
Thank you.
For the successful implementation of any program, the support is very essential, and such type of support is provided by our President, Shri Vasantraoji Ghuikhedkar, and Secretary Ma'am, Professor Dr. Sangeeta Tai Ghuikhedkar. So I am very grateful to both of them for having their support every time. Also, at the same time, motivation plays the vital role in the success of any event. And such type of motivation is provided by our respected principal, Dr. V.B. Raut sir, and Vice Principal, Professor Dr. S.B. Chakwe sir. So I express my gratitude towards them. Thank you, sir. And this workshop is the result of endless efforts of our IQAC coordinator, Professor Dr. Bageshwar sir. So I am really thankful to sir for making us part of this activity. I would really like to mention here Dr. Qureshi ma'am. She really nicely conducted both the sessions. Thank you, ma'am, for conducting both the sessions. I am also thankful to the organizing committee members of this workshop. Without their efforts, this event could not be possible. Last but not the least, all the teaching, non-teaching staff of our college and mainly the enthusiastic participants for whom this event has been organized. So for their active participation, I am really thankful to them. So thank you so much. Once again, I express my gratitude to everyone who made today's session a success. With the permission of the chair, I declare that today's session is over, and we will continue tomorrow at the same time. So we are looking forward to that. One announcement is there. The feedback link has been posted in the chat box. So please take out your precious time and give us your valuable feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, sir.